Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault. Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault. And you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not
We will bring the jury.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy
They
there.
got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addicts live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican por in service like
That's literally not true.
I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
Is that correct?
Oh, for Trump's sake.
All right, welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Good to have you all here this afternoon. Hope you're doing great. I went to the post office, and I've got to say, I got a few items in the post office. First and foremost, let me get on the screen here. I got what just might be my best favorite birthday card ever. And we're going to turn the music down for this and just fade that out there. For this birthday card says, "You're how old?" Right? It says, "You're how old?" And then when you open it, it has on the inside, it has this. It's a, I'm not sure if you guys can see this. The goat is, it shakes and screams, which I love. It's a screaming goat birthday card from let's see, this is from Going Postal. Thank you very much, Going Postal. And then I know, let's see, Wendy by Proxy sent me a whole bunch of pickle themed treats. Also, Gailey May gifted me some stuff that includes some spicy maple bourbon pickles in the new jar, which I've never been able to find until now. And I think there was one other thing. Hang on a second. Okay. Sorry, by a bunch of pickle-themed treats. Let me just see if I can show you. Slim Jim's spicy maple bourbon pickles in the new jar. We've got Blue Diamond Bold spicy dill pickles, dill pickle kettle chips, dill pickle sunflower seeds. This is just Bold Diamond wasabi and soy sauce. I actually love these. I'm going to start with those. Some dill pickle balls. Some Chex Mix. Spicy dill. And some pretzel twists. Oven baked. Dill pickle flavor. So, I got all that. So it's that happened. Anyway, thank you very much. And also we have to welcome officially Cody. Sorry, not Cody, JMR, who comes in with the first time ever we've had a pinned message relating to the case. Texas v. Cody, JMR comes in with the pertinent details of the trial we're watching as the pinned message, which is just unbelievable. No one's been able to do that before. This is all to prevent little RAs from stealing RA streets. You've guaranteed it. All of these are solely mine. As a matter of fact, my family may leave the room if I'm eating any of them. They're not a fan like I am. So thank you very much, and congratulations, JMR. First in chat, you win the internet. Everything IP related worldwide is your responsibility. So wonderful. So thank you for the birthday gifts. I've got to say, I didn't know they made a Screaming Goat birthday card. But I can't leave it open. Like, I can't prop it up on the mantle because it just keeps screaming and screaming and screaming. You have to close it or else it just keeps going. And last but not least, Bought the piano. Piano's going to be here in time. We're good. So it basically uses all the money I'm going to earn from this gig to pay for the piano. But hey, that's what gigs are for, to pay for more equipment. Anyway, I need that birthday card. It's looks like it's a Good Egg Greetings card. I can't see anything else. Designed in the USA. Sound and motion inside. There you go. That is what it is. Can you please show a close-up of the new spicy maple brick? Yes. Okay. The new jar, let me get full screen on this for you all. The new jar is smaller than the big jar, the old jar, by about half. Yet they sell for the same price. But these are spicy maple bourbon pickle chips, and it's the same thing. It's got the peppers in there, everything. It's the same thing. It's just a smaller jar. So they downsized, but kept the price the same. But I'm excited. I'm glad they make them. This is private selection. This is Walmart brand. They have not come to my store yet. So I've seen the spicy maple pickles, but not spicy maple bourbon pickles, and this is the bourbon one. You can't leave that out. All right. Welcome. All right, we're going to be going back to court here in a little bit, but for now, I think they've actually got a few minutes before they come back to court. Shrinkflation got the pickles. Yes, at least the pickles are the same size, like the pickles themselves. The jar is smaller, but anyway. Big shout out to John, my postmaster there in Ayden. I walk in the door. He's in the middle of a conversation. He was like, "Hang on," and he just walks away. I'm still in line. My kids are in line. I'm just barely like filing into the post office. He comes out with these big packages. He knows my post box number. He knows who I am. There's no show me ID. You don't have to ask for anything. He knows why we're here, and he's just amazing. Love small town post offices. It's great. All right. With that said, all right, Wayne Keener just click the subscribe button. Thank you, Wayne. We call that admitting to being a true crime addict. Whose name? Who was this before? She wet her plants. Who was this before? I think this is a recent name change. Wife named our new pit bull Polly Pickles. I'm giant on the screen. I'm huge. Look at that. Wow. I'll go small again. Don't want to scare anybody. I'll be the small guy, little guy in the corner again. Found the card on Amazon, says Jinx. It was amazing. It's amazing. It's Becky. Oh, it's Becky. Becky. I love the new name change. With the spring in the air, right? It's springtime. Well, we know it's springtime because our city came down and they just drove by and did the annual edging the sidewalk exercise, which I'm sort of torn on, right? Because I know that my town has no money. Like we have negative money ever, always. There are major potholes in the street that we just can't fix because we don't have the money to pay someone to get out there with a shovel and put some rocks in it. I mean, we have no money. We're broke. But for some reason, they take our streets crew and put them out there and have them weed eat and edge all the sidewalks. All the sidewalks. And I'm not against it because I benefit, right? But like from a moral standpoint, I should be against it. Otherwise, I'd have to do it myself. But then at the same time, I look at this and I say, well, according to my property deed for my house, that's not my property. That's not my, I realize I'm not supposed to mow it and stuff, but it's not my property. So, all right. We're going to be coming back to court in a little bit. So y'all are pretty broke then. The town is so broke. They actually called me up because I was helping them do their live streams for their town meetings in the evenings. And so I show up. I've got like pan tilt zoom cameras, wireless microphones, a an array of wireless microphones to pick up the whole panel. We've got the speaker for the, any public comment. We're getting that. I've got a dual camera facing back so we can do box in a box. And I live stream like that on their Facebook page. And everyone, like the whole town's like, yay, this is amazing. I can finally hear. I can hear better now than I would if I was there in person. This is so good. Thank you so much, town. And I'm just like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. And then their town meeting conflicted with some of our cases that were running late, and I couldn't help them. And so they went back to just setting up a phone on a tripod and catching whatever audio they could with that. And people are like livid. They're complaining. They're like, you need to switch back to what we had before. We can't hear. We should be able to hear this. And they're just livid. And so they called me up and they're saying, hey, how much would you charge to do this as a contract? And the truth is, for something like that, I'd probably charge $750 a day, which sounds like a lot. It's not. I mean, I'm bringing $10,000 worth of gear, setting up for an hour, tearing down for an hour, usually have one helper with me, and all the wear and tear and everything else and travel. It's not a lot, and it goes really quick. But I offered them a sweet deal. I said I would do it because I live here and I love you all. I'd do it for $250 per day. I think they were hoping for like $250 for the year. That's more in line with their budget. And doesn't sound like a lot. I normally charge, like for an event with cameras, $1,500 per day. That's a good rate, and I'll stream it to whatever you want. But anyway, so I offer them $250. They have not called back. And then I said, well, if you don't want to do that as well, I can just give you advice on how you can upgrade your own gear and do it yourself better. So I might go that route. Just got a work email that someone was vaping in the bathroom. We are a doctor's office. Was it a patient, Regina? Was it a patient? What happened with the Cody case? We're just waiting for them to come back from lunch. They'll be back in just a couple minutes. They're currently just waiting. Just waiting. I was about to head down to the courthouse to see this one live, but I don't think this will go very long. I don't think it will. I think it'll be over tomorrow. And I'm pretty sure defense is not going to call any witnesses. It's just going to be like, Cliff Notes version of this morning. Cody's charged with murdering his underage girlfriend, who he thought or believed was pregnant. And he had the help of a female assistant. The female has already taken a plea deal and was sentenced to 40 years. Okay, that's the plea deal. 40 years with the plea deal. Not sure if she's going to be testifying against him, but it's a murder trial. He was 21, she was 16. I spent 2 hours reading Game of Thrones last night. It's been 2 months. I'm not sure I'm going to finish the book this month. Water 2 times a week? And you need a different kind of cactus, Red. I like the barrel cactus where if you forget to water it this year, it will complain, but it will be fine. It'll get by. Yeah, all right. It's not a cactus. That's probably why. You made the mistake of not getting a cactus. Okay, I'm going to open these. I had a little bit of mac and cheese for lunch. And now I'm going to have some wasabi. Wasabi and soy sauce. Almonds. Oh, these are so good. Okay, those are good. You need to try them. They're a little spicy. They got wasabi on them, but good stuff. And the bite with they're so crisp. They're great. No. It's not the same as the scorpion pepper pistachios. Those really lit me up. Those were hot. All right. Anyway, welcome back. We're about to go back to court. Let's just see what the judge has going on down here. Looks like we're getting everything in order. Someone just gave me a lovely orca this week. I have a fairly brown thumb. Any suggestions? Regift. Regifting is always an option. Lazy retired lady. Is that not what you're looking for? Orchids are hard. Yeah. All right. We'll wait for them to get their ducks in a row here. You're back just in time. Well, yes, you are. All right. I feel so relieved now that I know I've got a second piano for this weekend. That was such a bad deal. What part of Texas? I think it's like Beaufort. Is it, or Beaufort? I don't know how they say it. Somebody has to correct me on how they say the name here. 3 ice cubes for the orchid once a week. Ice cubes. Red pen right before that says, just don't fall for the ice cube trick. Lots of light and soak them good only when needed. Let them dry completely. So there's competing advice in chat, side by side. You guys are going to have to fight it out amongst yourselves and decide. Beaumont. Okay. Beaumont. Beaumont is the pronunciation. Or Beaumont. Beaumont. That's where we're settling on. Beaumont. When am I going to be an aunt again? Let's see. I think we've got a couple weeks. Before I'm going to be a grandpa. So, Beaufort is North Carolina. Beaufort is South Carolina. Beaumont is Texas. Well, there we have we have it all. Let's see. Hooked on Phonics worked for me. Yeah, good stuff. Let's see. Garlic for orchid. Spoonful of sugar water. I use sugar water for my gourds. If I was doing like some decorative gourds or even pumpkins, sugar water was good. Josh says we've got alternates available to watch as well. Something in mod chat. Let me take a quick peek. From this morning for Judge Boyd. I think I actually saved it. I recorded all of her stuff this morning. So Judge Stephanie Boyd. Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's the flowers, right? It's the girl with the flowers. Okay. We're waiting for court to come around. This was the other day. That's live now. What was her last one? We're at 2 hours, 35 minutes. 2:35. Let's watch Judge Boyd while we wait for everybody else to come on.
Yes.
Arlene Gay.
Yes, it was fine, just for the percentages.
All right.
I'm sorry.
For this, see if Judge Nahara
We're just waiting.
Is able to hear.
We're
this.
just waiting for Judge Stevens to
All
get,
right.
get
Arlene
started.
Gay. Hello. Hello. Morning. Good morning. All right, so we're scheduled for trial today. Everybody ready?
No, Your Honor, we're not ready. My client does not want me as his attorney anymore.
Oh, yay.
And
One of these.
The feeling is mutual. And feel like our conversation, a breakdown in our conversation, that
Well, this case has been going on since October 2025. So if there was going to be a breakdown in communication, it should occur before then. So y'all
it did, Your Honor. We thought I could salvage it because I think the court would have maybe encouraged us to see if the relationship can go any further.
All right, so which case are y'all going to trial on first? Okay. 5412. All righty, Norma, have a jury come up here by 1:30.
My client also, you have something to say, right?
I wanted to thank the prosecutor. They had a reasonable offer.
No. Here's the thing. I'm not allowed to hear about your negotiations. What's going to end up happening is we're going to be back at 1:30 for a jury trial.
Well, I was asking for a bench.
That's another thing. My client did inform me yesterday that he liked a bench trial, and
well, you can discuss it with your attorney and see if what she thinks on that. If everybody agrees to the bench trial, then we can have a bench trial.
I've discussed it with him, and he has made that decision yesterday and today.
All right, then you all will need to fill out the request for the bench trial. State, do you have any objections to a bench trial? All right, so Norma, if you can get the paperwork for them for a bench trial.
Bench trial?
Yes. And State, do you have any witnesses for today? All right, then we'll start tomorrow. But give him the information for the bench trial.
Your Honor, just so I'm assuming you're not going to let me off the case. And at 10:30, I do have a parole hearing that I'm scheduled to do. It should just be an hour.
Okay.
If the court could work with my schedule, I'd greatly appreciate it. It's just hard to reset parole
no,
cases.
I used to do parole hearings.
Yeah,
I understand.
It's like an act of God to do that.
All right, if you'll go over the bench trial information with him.
Okay.
There were just discrepancies.
Here's the thing, whatever discrepancies you're saying that are with the state's case, that's something that's handled on cross-examination of witnesses. Okay.
That's because my attorney's saying that it's okay.
No. Here's the thing.
I'm having a hard time understanding.
No.
And
so let me just explain this to you, and I want you to internalize what I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been a defense attorney. I've been a prosecutor. And what I've learned is, have you ever heard of the saying where people say a little bit of knowledge is very dangerous? Have you ever heard that saying?
Yes, ma'am.
I've come to learn based upon my experience on the planet. I now know what they mean by that, right? And in your case, or maybe not, this is what it means. Have you ever read the Bible before?
I've been reading it every day.
All right, here's the perfect example. Someone will read the Bible and they'll read Genesis. Me, when I would read the Bible, and I still do, I would tend to get bogged down because I'm always looking for the quiz, because professors and teachers will always give you a quiz about the minute stuff. So in Genesis, when they're doing the begets, so-and-so beget this person, in my mind, I'm trying to memorize it, right? And so I've read through Genesis. And then when people read Genesis and they're like, I know Genesis, and they start quoting passages, but there are other books in the Bible that are connected to Genesis that people don't realize where this picks up. It's sort of like when people say revenge is mine and they put a period after that. And it's like, no, revenge is mine, saith the Lord. So it's the same thing with the law. This is our book that we have to know. And we have to know case law too. You will have some people, and I think your attorney will tell you this, they'll read something and it sounds great for their case. And they're like, here we go. This is great for my case. And then the attorney tries to explain to them either that doesn't apply to you, or either there's another section that's attached to that section that is not good for you. So what I can tell you is, I believe your attorney has read this book, because we've all read this book. I believe your attorney has read case law. You know why? Because we've all had to read the case law. So your attorney is an expert for you about the law. And that is the person that you need to ask questions of. Now, during your trial, what would end up happening is the state, they're going to call their witnesses. They're going to question their witnesses. Your counsel will get a chance to cross-examine those witnesses. Since you're coming to me for a bench trial, I will make the determination of whether I think someone is credible or not, whether I think they're telling the truth or not. If you go to a jury trial, the jury will make the decision on whether they believe somebody's telling the truth or not. That's the way it works. So a bench trial before me, I'm considering all of these things. This is what I can tell you about a bench trial with me. If the state proves their case beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm going to find you guilty. If they don't prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm going to find you not guilty. And with me, whether or not someone is found guilty or not guilty is based upon the evidence that's presented to me. It's not based upon the charge. Like some people will say, it's a bench trial, it's a murder. I know the state didn't prove their case, but I'm really afraid to do it not guilty. That's not me. I'm just going to listen to the evidence and I'm going to make a decision, guilty or not guilty, based upon what's presented to me. All right?
I'm scared right now. I believe God will make a way though. And I mean, like, I got a lot to lose. And
okay, let me just tell you something, what I've learned from my time going to church. Sometimes God's answer is yes. Sometimes God's answer is no. I was always taught whatever answer you receive from God is a good answer. And you need to thank him 1,000 times for that answer. So that's where you are. But I will tell you this. You need to look at your case objectively. I would always tell my clients, let's pretend this is not your case. And the reason why I would tell them that is so that they can look at it objectively. So you need to sit with your attorney and look at your case objectively. All right? All right, thank you. They'll get the paperwork for you for a bench trial.
Wow.
All right. Hi.
You're sending me somewhere else.
Yeah, it's going to be in the with Judge Naharal, Judge Halstead, and they'll take care of it. Anyone else ready?
All right. We're done with Judge Boyd. We're now going to go back to Judge Stevens, who was just getting set up here after lunch. They're back, so we're back with the Cody trial.
Record shall show the jury is seated in the courtroom. All parties are present. Statement filed. Your next witness.
Call Charles MacArthur Eiley.
Yes, sir. It's Charles MacArthur Lee. Is that your last name?
Eiley.
Eiley. Oh, okay.
I-L-E-Y.
Raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statements you make today in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, sir. Lower your hand.
He's embracing.
Go ahead.
Sir. State your name for the record, sir.
Charles Arnold.
Middle name's MacArthur, right?
Yes, sir.
MacArthur Island. I understand folks call you Mac.
Yes, sir.
And let's start out with the fact that you're in custody. You were, looks like you just recently went on probation for the offense of possession of controlled substance.
Yes, sir.
That was actually last month, right?
Yes, sir.
For a state jail felony offense for possession.
Yes, sir.
And is it true that you were given a 2-year deferred probation for that? Kind of started off on the wrong foot, it looks like, if you're in custody.
Oh, yes, sir. I didn't have a way to get there to start probation.
Kind of having some reporting issues.
Yes, sir.
But that case itself is not a final conviction, is it?
No, sir.
Has anybody offered you any kind of an agreement to testify today?
No, sir.
Specifically,
No.
I haven't done that, have I?
I had no talk of a deal or anything at all about any of this.
In fact, you were kind of surprised you were here.
Definitely. I was expecting this to be about my motion to revoke.
And you and I talked very...
So that the jury understands you didn't complete that. It would be a motion to revoke your probation. Yes. I didn't have a chance to make it fair to start them. They're not familiar with a lot of the language, the way it's used. The colloquialisms, yes, sir.
Yeah, so I will stop and get you to clarify if you say some other things like that too. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So how old of a man are you, Mr. Ayden? And were you living back in the Hampshire Finette area back in 2022?
I was living in China at the time.
Okay, thank you. Where at in I don't need the address specifically. Where were you born and raised?
Finette. I was born in Beaumont, but I was raised in Finette my whole life.
Okay. And I told you during the lunch hour what I have you here for, right?
Yes.
And so let's pick back up with that. You didn't originally think that's why you were here, right?
No, sir, not.
You thought it was about your probation.
Yes, sir.
You now understand what you're here to testify about.
Yes, sir.
Do you know an individual by the name of Cody Arnold?
Yes, sir.
Do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir.
You're pointing. Can you describe something he's wearing?
White t-shirt. Not a t-shirt, long sleeve shirt.
Not the individual in the suit, the one right next to him, right?
Next to him, yes.
Your Honor, may the record reflect he's identified the defendant, Cody Lee Arnold.
Yes, it will.
How do you know Mr. Arnold?
Went to school together.
They're at Hampshire Finette?
Yes.
Same grade, or were you all apart?
Apart. I think I was 3, maybe 4 years ahead of him.
Okay. So I think he was 21 back in March of 2022. How old were you back then?
See.
Mental math.
Not good at it right now. Still kind of shocked that I'm sitting here. I've been 28, 29, something like that.
Showing you your statement. You can refer to it. I read this to you during the break. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
This says that you were 27 back then. Does that sound about right?
Sounds about right, yeah.
Okay. If you need to refer to that, you can look at that. So y'all knew each other from school.
Yes, sir.
Had you seen him regularly but before this instance in March of 2022?
Ever so often, just run into him.
Would you consider each other friends?
Yeah.
Or acquaintances?
Friends.
Okay. What'd y'all do together as friends?
Hung out, listen to music, drink, play marchers, stuff like that.
Okay. So tell the jury about when you saw him in March of 2022. Where were you?
I was with my mom and a lady at the time, and we were at the dollar store in Hampshire when I saw him.
You used a colloquialism. You said the term old lady.
My girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, I just want to make sure I'm not assuming anything. Was that, in fact, somewhere in or around March 26th of 2022?
Yes, sir.
The Dollar General.
Yes, sir.
Is it the one and only right there in Hampshire Finette?
Yes, sir. There's only one in Finette. There's only one in Hampshire. There's another one on 365 in Finette.
And where is this one located?
Off 124 in front of the high school in Hampshire.
Okay. So you're there with, you said your mom and your girlfriend.
Yes, sir.
When do you see Mr. Arnold?
after I walk inside.
What's he doing?
He's buying a pack of cigarettes and a drink or something like that.
Do y'all start a conversation?
Yes, sir.
Who initiates it?
I can't remember. I think I did. I think I walked up to him and said, "Hey man, how you been?"
What'd he say?
He was, "Man, been all right. Need to talk to you." All right, what's up? He said, "Can we step outside?" I said, "Sure."
All right, so I'm going to pause you for a moment. Is that fairly normal when you guys see each other, that's kind of banter y'all would have? And
Yeah.
okay.
Nothing seemed amiss at the time when we first started talking.
So y'all step outside the store?
Yes, sir.
What's the next thing that takes place?
I asked him what was going on. And he told me he needed help getting somebody out of his house. I said, okay.
What did you take that to mean?
I took it as he had some guy staying in his house that he needed help getting out of his house. And me being who I am, I help my friends out. So I was like, all right, I help you get them out. I figured it was one of those, the dude just didn't want to leave and he needed somebody to help run him out. So
needed some muscle.
Right. So that's what I was going to do.
And you're known for that, right, Mac? That you will help somebody out like that?
Mac the muscle.
I'm not to help my friends out however they need. I help my friends. And I don't charge them nothing. I help my friends.
All right, so that's what you thought, is that he had a guy who needed ran out of a place.
Yes, sir.
What's the next thing what happens?
He said, no, it ain't a guy, it's a woman. I said, man, call Jefferson County. I don't touch women, I don't touch kids.
And you're adamant about that, aren't you?
Yes, very.
Medic.
I don't touch women, I don't touch kids at all. Like, matter of fact, anybody I know touches women or touches kids, I go and write them.
So what happens next?
When he said it was a woman, I told him call Jefferson County because, like I said, I don't touch women, I don't touch kids.
Now you're telling him to call Jefferson County to get help with removing whoever this person is, right?
Yes. Yes.
What was his reaction to that?
He kind of sighed and then kind of tried to change subjects. And that's when I started getting the feeling something was wrong. So I pressed him on it. Hey, what's going on, man? Talk to me.
Y'all are still outside the store having this conversation.
Yes, sir. At this point in time, I'm standing at the driver's door of his truck. He's sitting in the truck in the driver's seat, facing me, talking to me.
And you press him, and what does he tell you?
I forget exactly how he words it and how it comes about, but long story short, it comes out that she's not breathing. And that's when I hit him. And I called him stupid, and I hit him. I said, "You idiot, you know better than this shit. What the fuck's wrong with you?" And he just broke. He broke. He started crying. He's like, "Man, I don't know what to do. I'm scared." Well, look, let me get to the house. Give me a few minutes. Come get me. We'll go sit somewhere and talk. See if we can't figure this out.
Did he tell you that he was going to do that?
Yes, he did say he was going to come to the house, pick me up, and we were going to go sit somewhere so I could talk to him and try to get his head on straight so he called the cops and gets this handled the right way.
Did he come to your house?
No, sir, he never showed up.
And pulling back the statement, I want to ask you a little bit more about some of the detail. Did he make any statements to you about him and another girl running around with a younger girl?
Yeah, he did.
What did he say?
He said something about, his little ladies were running around and they had somebody else hanging out with them that said they were older than they were. And when they found out, he
They find out her real age?
Yes, sir. He left inside the house. He was sitting outside, and his girlfriend went back in the house and came back outside and basically said the problem was taken care of.
Did he tell you specifically whether or not that other girl shot and killed?
And he said that.
He told you that there in the parking lot?
Yes, sir.
And that was after they found out her real age?
Yes, sir.
Did he tell you that the girl left him there?
Yes, sir.
Did he say anything about the firearm?
He told me he didn't know where it was.
Is that when you realized that he was asking you to move a dead girl's body?
Yes, sir.
Is that when you hit him?
Roundabout.
That's not the kind of thing you do, is it? Is there some reason why Cody thought you're the guy he could talk to about that?
Because I keep my mouth shut. Everybody's business is everybody's business. I don't go around telling everybody's business. If it's got something to do with me, I keep my mouth shut. If it ain't got nothing to do with me, I keep my mouth shut. I mean,
him saying that in court is funny.
If I ain't got a stake in it, why should I say anything about it?
So how is it if, with that statement, sir, that we were able to get your affidavit, your statement about these instances?
Because when Cody got picked up, he mentioned my name to the detectives, and the detective showed up at my house. He asked me what I knew, and I told him exactly what I've said tonight.
Is that because you're going to tell the truth no matter what it is? That a yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I keep my mouth shut unless you ask me the truth and then I tell you.
In talking to Mr. Arnold, could you tell that he knew what was going on as far as the killing and all?
He seemed like he was scared and piecing it together as he was going, because he didn't know originally what happened, and he was scared.
Definitely seemed scared, right?
Definitely.
But there's no doubt that or is there any doubt that he asked you to help move this dead girl's body?
I don't know if he was asking me to help him move the body, or if he was wanting me to help him get his mind right, or what. I really couldn't tell you. But I know it wasn't going to help him move the body.
Wasn't his first statement to you that he needed some help getting someone out of his house?
Yes, sir.
And you
to
took
me, that could mean anything.
Yeah.
That really, like, that could be you could be staying at his house and he don't want you there.
Right.
And hey man, I need your help getting somebody. Okay, cool. I'd show up, and it's time for you to go. And if you didn't want to leave, I'd have a baseball bat or something, and like, all right, well, it's either you're leaving or you're gonna get,
Yes, sir.
And other than that, I'm short of it.
All right. Thanks, sir. Pass witness.
Highly. So you were surprised that the deputies showed up at your house talking about Cody Arnold?
Oh yeah, very.
And they got your name from Cody?
Yes. Other than that, my name would never would have come up in this at all. Because I wouldn't have said anything about this to anybody, because it didn't concern me. I wasn't involved in it. It was nobody's business. So I kept my mouth shut.
So someone that could tell the police officers about what happened, he gave them your name after he talked to you.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't make much sense, does he? if he was trying to get you to help move a body. And, oh, let me tell you, Mr. Policeman, who can substantiate my statement.
None of this makes sense to me, man.
Okay. One of the things I wanted to ask you was, Mr. Ham asked you when it happened or when you talked to him, and you said March 26th. It was actually the 27th, about 2:30 in the afternoon. Is that correct?
And that was 4 years ago. You really think I remember exact?
Well, you went over it earlier, just a little while ago, with Mr. Ham.
Right.
Statement
And
and stuff.
I said, and he said it could have been the 26th or 27th. I said, yeah, that sounds about right.
Can I approach the witness, Judge? Yeah. I showed you a copy of your statement. Would it help refresh your memory, sir?
Sure.
Was it to yourself?
Okay. Okay.
So back then, 4 years ago, you told police officers that it was March 27th, about 2:30.
Okay.
Was that what it says?
That's what it says.
Okay. There was previous testimony that, well, it's like that. What car did Cody pull up in at Dollar General?
He was already there, and it was a silver Ford F-150.
You know whose truck it was?
I think it's his. As far as I knew, it was his. It might have been his dad's through somebody in his family.
So if there was testimony saying that there were no cars around or he didn't have a car, he had a car then.
And he was in a silver Ford F-150.
Okay. And he said he had problems, and you said that he seemed upset.
Yes.
That he broke down, he lost it.
Yes.
Now, what's your definition or that somebody losing it? I mean, breaking down, crying, and just falling to pieces?
He didn't really cry, really. He just kind of, like, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do. He was kind of shaking. His voice was shaky, like somebody scared.
Okay. Now, you may not have known this, but they estimate or that this possibly happened the day before, about 24 hours before, the day before that this girl was killed.
Okay.
Yeah. So 24 hours after, he's still shaking and he's still staying around. Did he mention to you anything about packing his bags and leaving?
No, sir.
But he did tell you that the other person involved had gone and couldn't find her or no contact.
Right.
Your understanding is that this is Cody, and his old lady had this younger girl.
Right.
The old lady being, I guess, Chelsea Ship.
I don't know. I've never seen her. Never met her.
But the girlfriend.
Never met her. Never seen her.
Your definition of an old lady is girlfriend, right?
Right.
Right. Old biker term.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
My old lady. Okay. And said that something about underage, and did he say there was a plan or anything to get rid of her?
No, sir.
Just that they were all sitting outside, they went inside, and Cody said she came back and said, I took care of a problem.
Pretty much.
Nothing like, hey, we had this plan, she ran from me.
No plan, nothing like that. Nothing was planned, nothing was set. It all just
Instantaneous.
Yes.
I mean, it wasn't like, hey, we came over to that house, we got her here,
nothing
and
like that.
you know, we had plans of burying her or getting rid of her, but she left me. Now I don't know what to do. Nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
He did say that his dad was around, correct?
I think he did mention that he said something to his dad about it.
My understanding, or is that my understanding, but his dad might have been an alcoholic. Did you know his dad?
I met his dad once or twice in passing, and really the man didn't seem like he was really.
All there?
Yeah, he seemed like he had some issues.
Okay.
If I remember right. Like I said, it's been 4 or 5 years since I've been around him, so.
I show you what is marked as State's Exhibit number 1. I'm going to put it on. Okay. Is that Cody's house?
Yeah, that's his house.
You've been there?
Yes, sir. That's the truck. That's the truck he was sitting in when I was talking to him. Okay. Under the carport.
So that must have been possibly his dad's truck?
I guess so. I thought it was his, honestly.
So I guess he, instead of running away, if this was taken after the fact, let's please took this picture. That he went home and parked it, I guess, at his place.
I guess.
Yeah, he didn't run away.
No.
No. Dollar General.
Yeah.
And besides getting cigarettes and soda, he must have had garbage bags and cleaning supplies.
Didn't see garbage bags, did not see cleaning supplies.
Didn't say anything about, hey, help me clean up this place or anything like that. He just said, I just don't know what to do.
Right.
Something happened and the person who did it is gone.
Right.
You wanted him to come pick you up. Where were you living at the time in a relationship? How far away from where he was living at the time? I know you live in what, China now, or?
I was in China at the time, so I don't know, 30 miles, 40 miles, something like that. I don't know how far it is from there to China.
And you asked him to come over to the house or come over and pick you up?
I was at my parents' house at the time.
Okay.
My parents lived in Green Acres in Gwinnett.
Okay.
So they've been 10 minutes down the road, 15 minutes down the road.
So come over to my parents' house, pick me up.
Right.
Okay. And were you going to go back over there to see what was going on?
I was not going to go to his house. I was going to bring him somewhere where me and him could sit down and I could talk some sense to him.
And he just never came over to pick you up?
And he never showed up.
He went back home, I guess.
Right.
After that day, you didn't see anybody. I mean, you didn't talk to anybody, you didn't go over anywhere until the police
inspector showed up at my table
and said, come on down, we need to talk to you.
Right.
You testified that you were 27 at the time you think this was happening, or are you 27 now?
31 now.
31, okay.
Yes.
And it was about 4 years ago, so that's about 27.
Yes.
You said that you hung out, drank beer, threw washers.
Yes, sir.
And did you realize he was 21?
Yes, sir.
Or 20?
Yes, sir.
Kind of young.
What does throw washers mean?
It's the country, man.
5, 6. No matter what the age is, you kind of hang out, don't you?
We all hang out. Yeah.
All hang out. Boys, girls, it's.
Oh yeah, man. I remember sometimes we'd have get together. We'd have 300-400 people there.
All right.
From all over.
So it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. You were 27 and he was 21.
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Did you have a chance to take a look at the back of that car, whether or not he had any cleaning supplies?
No, sir. I didn't look in the bed of the truck.
When you saw him, was he at the cash register or at the front of the store, ready to get out?
I can't remember where he was in the store when I walked in, honestly.
But what he left with was some cigarettes and soda?
Yes, sir.
Oh, cool. He was troubled?
Very.
Upset?
Very.
Lost it?
Very. Very troubled.
But didn't say he was running away?
Did not say he was leaving.
Asked the witness subject to recall that.
Did you believe Mr. Arnold when he told you all that?
I've known Cody long enough to know that he ain't gonna bullshit me on something like this. I mean, you know how some people are. They'll tell a tall tale just to make themselves seem bigger than they are. But with the way he was acting, the way he was talking, and his voice and everything, nah, I believed him.
But you chose not to talk to law enforcement till they came to you.
And it was not my business.
That's what it is.
Anything else? No. Your excuse. Next.
By excused, you can go back to your cell. The county jail has
Oh,
a shirt.
Randy
says,
Moon.
he thought he was here for one of his own hearings. Shows up, he's testifying against a friend. Wow. Way to prep your witnesses. It's an interesting little case. We're getting a peek into the deep south. Got some strong accents. What kind of washers? I was thinking like a washer and dryer. A washer. But maybe it's just like a...
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the
metal
testimony
ring.
that you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes, sir.
And please have a seat. Thank you.
You have two platforms, regular rectangular boxes with 3 holes in it. You turn off washers into the holes platform. You get points if you make it into one of the holes. I've never played.
Okay, so you should pull your chair up a little bit. You'll make sure you have a hang of it.
Columbia, not a sponsor.
Just that microphone. When you're talking, if you make sure that last drawer hears you, then we're going to be good enough. Okay? Okay. Probably going to have to talk louder than that.
Okay.
All right. Cheer. Okay. State your name for the record.
Brandy Cameron.
And first off, you were expecting to testify really early this morning, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me apologize on the record. I kind of shifted things around on you. Okay, and I'm sorry. I know I've kept you here all day. What do you do for a living, ma'am?
CNA.
What is a CNA?
Certified nurse.
So when you do initials or things like that, I'll ask you to clarify. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Just because we want to make sure the record's clear. I actually knew what a CNA was, but I want to make sure it's clear for the record. Let's take care of some logistics. Did you call 911?
Yes, sir.
And when did you do that?
Happened.
Okay. So you're the person that kind of started this whole investigation. Do you remember what day that was?
I think you're going to have to move that microphone forward.
Yeah, you're what's happening is as you're answering, your voice is dropping off.
Okay.
I don't need a microphone. They can all hear me, right? You should project a little bit so that we can hear you. Okay? I do this all the time.
Okay.
You don't. That's why I'm gonna put it. Just said move your chair up. I'm gonna move your chair up. Okay.
Let me get up.
He actually said move the microphone.
You gotta work your way around the microphone.
Okay. Better.
Yes, I want you comfortable with it. You help me out, but keeping your voice up, okay? Have you ever testified before?
No, sir.
Well, welcome to the courtroom. This is how it works, okay? I want to make sure that they hear everything you've got to say. I don't want your address, but I want to know where you live.
Winnie. Consider me for this Winnie address.
That's out there on Kiker Road, right?
Yes, sir.
Same place you were living back in March of 2022?
Yes, sir.
I've actually visited you out there at that location, haven't I?
Yes.
Do you still own that 2014 Maxima Nissan?
No, sir.
Back in March of 2022, when all this happened, did you give the sheriff's office permission to search your vehicle? Did you know that your car had a deal called an infotainment where you could pull down information about where the car's been and all that?
I really didn't.
You learned that afterwards, didn't you? Yeah. Did you as well give the sheriff's office your cell phone so that they could see text communications between you and Chelsea?
Yes, sir.
Is that Chelsea Shipp? How do you know Chelsea Shipp?
Met her through my niece, and I worked with her at the beach. And
Who is your niece?
Hannah Smith.
And when did you meet Miss Shipp?
I couldn't really tell you. The summer we started cleaning houses, so I don't even know where that was. 4 years ago, I guess.
Okay. And so you knew her for about 4 years before?
No. I just met her. Maybe 6 months, a year or so, I guess you could say.
Before this incident? Okay.
Yes. Well, she was friends with Hannah. She lived with her. And yeah.
I'm trying to get a time frame for how long you guys knew each other before this comes.
6 months or so.
Okay. I think you said you worked together.
Yes, sir.
What was the name of that cleaning company?
Latitude Adjustment.
Was that primarily cleaning beach houses? Did you end up having a conversation with Chelsea Shipp on or about March 25th, 2022?
Yes, sir.
What was the nature of that conversation? Don't go into anything she said, yes, just what was it about?
And what she did.
Okay. Had she asked to borrow your car before or after that conversation?
Before.
Okay. I've confused myself. When did she borrow your car?
She called me, I don't know what day it was. I was working at the beach. She called after she could use my car.
Okay.
And I told her yes. And we met and changed vehicles. And
so that's before we're going to call the conversation.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
All right. So let's talk about y'all swapping cars. Is that what you did? What kind of car was Chelsea Shipp driving?
She drove a Dodge truck, white Dodge truck.
Was it out of the ordinary that she called you up asking to swap cars?
Yes.
Why did you agree to do that?
I trusted her. She was responsible. She didn't give me any other reason why I shouldn't let her use it.
You've kind of made some statements to me in the time frames we talked about Miss Shipp's character. You remember talking to me about that? Tell the jury about her.
But I never in a million years would have thought she'd have done something like this at all. You wouldn't think she would do something like that. Surprising.
And when we say that, we're talking about murdering this 16-year-old girl. You never saw that coming.
No.
So I believe, just to put you in reference, that Miss Caitlin, I'll put it on the screen, States Exhibits 23. I'm showing you this picture, I have it on there.
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize that lady?
Yes, I do.
Is that Caitlin Nicole Stone?
Yes, sir.
When did you see her in relationship to this offense?
I've seen her the night before they asked to use my car.
Was that a Friday?
Friday, yes, sir.
And tell the jury about the circumstances where you saw her on the Friday before her death.
They just came by my house.
They?
Cody, Chelsea, and Caitlin came by my house just for a little while, not very long, 30 minutes or so, and visited and then left.
When you say the name Cody, who are you referring to?
Arnold.
Do you see him here in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Can you point to him and identify something he's wearing?
A white shirt.
You want to make the record reflect she's identified the defendant, Cody Arnold?
It will.
All right, so did I understand correctly that all three of them came by your place?
Yes, sir.
They're on Kiker Road?
Yes, sir.
What was the purpose of coming by?
Chelsea just wanted to say hi.
And they were all together?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Did you see Miss Stone?
Yes, sir.
Describe her to the jury what you saw.
A young girl. She didn't really say much. She was quiet.
But did she stay in the car or did she get out?
She got out, but she was kind of quiet. She didn't really interact that much to me. Anyway, I was talking to Chelsea mostly. So.
What about the defendant? Where was he?
It was by Caitlin.
If you had to identify who was with whom, and I'm using air quotes.
I would have thought Cody and Caitlin were together, not Chelsea and Caitlin. I mean, Chelsea and Cody, sorry.
Okay. So it appeared that Mr. Arnold, the defendant, and Caitlin Stone, who's still up on the projector, they were a couple.
Yes, sir.
And Chelsea Shipp was just hanging out with him?
Yes.
How long were they there with you on that Friday?
20 minutes, I guess you could say, maybe 30, not very long.
And it was just a stop in. How you doing?
Yes, sir.
Think maybe they were just passing through from the beach on?
I think that's what she said. She was coming through. She wanted to stop and say hi. That's all.
Was that your first time for meeting Miss Caitlin?
Yes, sir.
But was it your first time to meet Mr. Arnold?
No.
Knew him from before?
Yes, sir.
How long have you known Mr. Arnold?
Not really very long, I guess. Not long. Knew of Cody, but they're mutual friends.
I've made the reference in a small town like where you live, you kind of know everybody or at least know of everybody. So you knew of him, but maybe didn't know him? Okay. Knew people he knew kind of thing? Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that was Friday. And she's in her truck?
Yes. No, guess so, probably.
When did y'all swap cars?
I was working down at the beach, the spot, but I got home back. She took my thoughts.
You said something, so I got to get you to explain. The cut. Where's the cut? That's what it's commonly called right there for those who go up and down the beach road, right? So I think that's about halfway between where you live and where you were cleaning houses out in at the beach. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So you met there, swapped cars?
Yes, sir.
And you went where?
I went to Baytown with a friend of mine. We left.
That's with the girls whose name I have a hard time saying. Hasley Good?
Hasley Good.
Y'all call her Az?
Yes, sir.
That's a lot easier for me. All right. So you and Az go off to Baytown?
Yes, sir.
And you see Chelsea, and is she with anybody?
Cody.
That's the same defendant we've been talking about.
Yes, sir.
They get in your car and drive off?
Yes, sir.
Was Miss Stone with them?
No, sir.
What impression did that leave you with?
At the time, I really didn't know. I wondered where she was because she was with them the night before, but I didn't really think about anything like that yet.
Yeah.
Right.
In hindsight, you had some different thoughts, right? But I'm only talking about your original impressions, right?
Yes.
So you just thought it was odd?
Yes. I thought it was odd because, I wouldn't let my boyfriend go off with some other girl. I just kind of wondered where she was, you know.
Right. So that was what I was really wanting you to get to with the jury is you thought it was odd he was with a different girl and not his girlfriend. Okay. Do you remember about what time of day this is? Okay. And you said you and Az went off to Baytown and they drove back towards.
I guess Winnie area, I don't know. I don't really wasn't paying attention which way they went, actually.
On the beach road, you got to go through High Island, and then through Winnie to get onto Hampshire Finette, right?
Yes, sir.
When's the next time you saw any of those individuals?
Baytown and came back. I'm not sure how long we were in Baytown. It was that evening sometime. I couldn't even tell you what time it was.
Did you try to reach out to Chelsea to get your car back?
That night, yes, sir. Actually, when we met at Asley's house, and they showed up, but she asked me if she could use the car again, you know, still use the car, and I told her yes. And I think later on that night, I called and asked for my car back.
All right, so let's go back to they show up at Asley's house.
Yes, sir.
Where is her house?
It's off of 124. It's in a RV park called Redneck Riviera.
Redneck Riviera. Would that be located at Highway 124 and Fears Road?
What a great name for a trailer park. Redneck Riviera.
Could that possibly have been between the time frames of 4:30 and 6 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
Does that sound about right?
Yes, sir.
So you said they showed up. We got to be clear.
Cody and Chelsea.
Cody Arnold and Chelsea Schiff. How were they acting?
Like nothing. They were eating and like nothing was wrong.
Okay. So, I think you told me they had some McDonald's.
Yes, they're eating.
So eating McDonald's about 4:30 anywhere to 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Miss Stone is nowhere around. Did you think about her and where she may have been? Her being Caitlin Stone? Did you wonder where she was?
At the time, I really wasn't thinking about it.
All right, so, we had the early impression from the day before. We see all three of them together. You think that Caitlin and Cody are together. You're now seeing Cody with Chelsea. Are they acting like a couple?
Yes, sir.
You're the only one that was there, ma'am.
Yes.
I want your impression for this jury.
They're sitting next to each other. Yes, they were acting like a couple.
Sitting close like my alternate jurors up here?
Yes.
That close?
Yes.
Were they holding hands or doing anything like that? No. Okay. But if you were describing it to somebody else, would you say they were acting like a couple? Did it seem that way? And what conclusions were you drawing from seeing them together like that? You just met the man's girlfriend the day before and you see him with another lady.
Well, the night that Chelsea had came over with all three of them, she had made some jealousy comments. So I kind of figured that, I knew what was kind of going on already.
But she was jealous about Caitlin?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. So it's around 4:30 to 6. And that was at what'd you say the name of that park was?
Redneck Riviera.
You think I could remember that? Redneck Riviera. What happens? Where do you all go from there?
I don't remember we left. I think we went gambling or something. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
So you went off one direction. They went to where? They say?
No. Mostly.
They leave in your car. And I think you had explained she asked for permission to keep using it.
Yes, sir.
You were okay with that?
Yes.
At some point in time, did you ask to get your car back?
I texted her and asked her to bring me my car. I'm not sure what time it was or whatever, but.
May I approach the witness?
Yes.
I'm only showing you this to refresh your memory. I don't want you to read it out loud or anything like that. Does that look like the text you sent her?
Yes.
Is that roughly the time frame you sent her?
Yes, sir.
Does this help refresh your memory about what you said and when it was?
Yes, sir.
All right, so when do you think that you text her about your car?
10 o'clock. Yes.
Mhm.
Before I went to bed, I know, because I had to go clean.
And you told her that, didn't you? That her truck uses way too much gas, right? Did you hear back from her as to when you were going to get your car back?
I can't remember if she texted me back or not, and then told me that she brought it back the next morning.
Show you the second half of the text conversation. Does that help refresh your memory?
Okay, yes, sir.
You remember it now without looking at that? Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
All right, so what response did you get back?
Said that I could come get it or she'd bring it to me, but she never did.
She mentioned somebody else's name?
Yes, sir.
Who's that name? What's that name?
Tony.
Who's Tony? Who is that?
Friend of Chelsea's.
Did it sound like your car might be at Stoney's?
It was.
Did you go over there or did you wait for her to bring it back?
I just waited.
So this is it's getting close to midnight when you're getting these responses, isn't it? Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
All right, so when did she bring your car back?
It was in the morning sometime. I'm guessing around 8 or so. I'm not sure because I'd get down to the beach to clean the house around 9 or 10.
And she showed up at your house there on Kiker Road?
Yes, sir.
You said you normally get up around 7 a.m., is that right? To go to work?
Sir.
And that's even on a Saturday?
Sir.
Or this would have been Sunday, I believe. You work on Sundays as well?
We work too.
Okay. She came to your house?
Yes, sir.
And at this point, describe to the jury how she was acting.
She was acting kind of off, not like Chelsea.
What do you mean when you say that?
She just acted like something was on her mind, bothering her, whatever, different.
So what was your reaction to that?
I just told her she needed someone to talk to. I'd be there for her.
And did she finally open up and tell you some things?
Yes, sir.
You actually approach?
Yes. Whoa, that yes had like all the S's on it. We get a sidebar. Finally.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen.
Get muted. That yes, he got stuck. He got stuck saying the name. Let's see. Denny Austin, member for 35 months. Wow, that's like 91,980,000 seconds, or nearly 3 years. Oh, gee. Denny, thank you very much for doing the math so I don't have to. Sidebar's over.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have a hearing outside the presence of the jury to make some legal rulings. Please bear with us. This may be 10, 15 minutes, but thank you very much. Take a break. Thank you. And report back outside 10, 15 minutes. Thank you.
Jury gets to leave. We put the paper bag over the camera. Somebody needs to give them just like a paper bag. Just bag the camera. There's an easier way, but jury's going to walk out. Yes, he puts the paper over the camera so we don't see the jury. That's great. That's fine. Cool with that. Looks like we're going to get a proffer here.
Jury is exited. Go ahead.
We're going to uncover the camera.
We're going to take
Give me about 60 seconds, Judge, from there.
Any guesses what the judge is eating? Thinking it's a Werther's. We might not get to see this until the jury comes back in. We'll see the judge and the witness, and we'll hear everything else. We just won't see what happens in the court. Reese's Pieces.
Well, he was going to say that at the end of the going into other statements that sheets of the so the judge he made the decision about the disability. They started out as hearsay, and the judge has to make determination as to whether or not there are certain exceptions. So it's the jury, maybe they'll make that call. Really, just inside the really pretty just explaining.
Okay.
So that's what's happening. And you don't think wrong with moving or taking spectrum.
Okay.
Yep.
So the prosecutor explains that there's a proffer to hear if this hearsay evidence, which is about to be testified to, is allowed to come in. Judge pops another candy, says, play on. Let's go.
Go ahead. All right, so we actually stopped at a perfect spot because here's where I want to elicit from you, to get from you the statements that she said on the scene there at your house, right? And where you were in your testimony, ma'am, you had just told her, you had just told the jury that she didn't really look right. You advised her that.
Jimmy, are you talking about Chelsea said?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You had mentioned that Chelsea didn't look like herself, that you were there for her, she wanted to say anything, right?
Yes, sir.
Right after that, did you guys walk outside?
Yes, sir.
She said, okay, let's walk outside.
Mm-hmm.
That's outside of your house.
Yes, sir.
And did she say what was going on as to why she was acting differently?
No, well, no, sir. She just said, hey, if anybody has, tell them I went to Daytona in Appalachia. I thought that was odd.
She basically was asking you for an alibi.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't with you and Azalee, right?
No.
But that's the first thing she said to you is, hey, if anybody asks, I was with you.
Right.
All right. So what'd you do to that, man? You had a
I just said
response.
okay. I think I said okay, and was wondering, well, why, who's she hiding? Why is she saying that? I didn't know what to think.
Right. So you kind of questioned her about, hey, why do I need to do that?
Yeah.
And what was her response?
She asked me to get in the truck with her so we could talk.
And did you do that?
Yes, sir.
And did she open up at that stage and tell you something?
Yes, sir.
What did she say?
She said that she got rid of Caitlin, and I said,
You reacted to that?
I didn't think she really got rid of her. I said, would you beat her up? I didn't know how to take that.
Right.
She said, no, I shot her.
And she actually indicated, she made some hand gesture, didn't
Yes,
she?
sir.
What was her hand gesture?
She's like, I shot her with her hand.
Okay.
And
What'd you do?
I said, well, where's she at? And she just said, I just did what I had to do. Now he's got to do what he has to do. And that was basically all she said. And then she said something about her gun. If they ask where the gun is, I'm just going to say it was stolen. So,
Okay. Did she indicate in any form or fashion that he asked her to take care of this problem?
yes.
You remember her saying those exact words? And that was before you nodding. Is that
Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
Yeah. In fact, in your statement, it says, he asked me to take care of a problem.
Yes, sorry. Yes, sir.
So did you take that to believe that Cody knew what was going on when that happened?
Yes, sir.
Because he's the one that asked her to do it, right?
Yes, sir.
And she's telling you this, yes?
Yes, sir.
And then did it become apparent that it was her gun that was used?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And she was going to act like it was stolen or something of that nature, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that the is that the entirety of what you two talked about as far as what she was saying happened surrounding this killing?
Yes, sir.
And the things that Cody Arnold was involved in?
Yes, sir.
Right? And if I've got it right, specifically, is the only thing she told you is he asked her to take care of that problem?
Yes, sir.
Those were her words?
Yes.
Did she say anything else along those lines?
So he asked me to take care of my problem. I did what I had to do. Now he has to do what he has to do.
Did it sound like some kind of plan between the two of them?
Sorry.
Did she leave soon after that conversation?
I got out of I told her I was to be late to work and was trying to go.
Distance yourself?
Yes, I was trying to get away, so I just said I had to leave. I was gonna be late.
All right, so I'm going, as far as, I'm just gonna tell you out loud.
Yeah.
I will, in front of the jury, I'm gonna get into what your reactions were and things of that nature as to how you took that evidence, right?
Okay.
But as far as all the statements she made to you at that point in time, have we covered all those?
Yes, sir.
Now, here's the question I've got for you for the judge's consideration. When you heard these things, were you shocked by her telling you something like this?
Yes, sir.
Did you take it that she was committing a crime?
I couldn't really believe what I was hearing. It took her, yeah, it was shocking. I didn't think she would do that. So I didn't know if she was saying it for attention or if she was, telling the truth or not.
It took you a while to actually pick up the phone and call some folks.
Yes, sir.
That all had to sink in, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
But you now know, looking back, that
Yes,
it was true.
Yes.
You just found it all shocking in the moment.
Yes, sir.
All right, for the purposes of this hearing and her statements, I'll pass the witness judge.
Ms. Moon, in fact, you didn't really believe her at the time she made those statements, correct?
Not at the time. And
the reason why was you knew her, Mrs. Chelsea, to be addicted on meth.
I knew she did meth, yes, sir.
And when she did meth, she did crazy things.
I never knew her acting like that, really. She never did anything crazy. That's what I'm saying. You never thought in a million years she'd have done something like that.
Question is that in your statement talked about that you really didn't, I took it that didn't believe her because you known her to do meth.
Yeah, I've known her to do meth, but that's not why I didn't believe her.
So why did that have anything to do with it then? It says, didn't you ever make the statement, I have known Chelsea to do meth before, and I thought it may have something to do with that?
If I did, sir,
Well, can I approach Judge?
sure.
All right.
Okay.
This is your statement, correct? It is. This statement is, no, Chelsea's.
Okay, yes, sir.
So you thought that it had to do with something with meth and her doing whatever, right?
Yes, sir.
And that probably would have coincided with what y'all were doing that weekend because you went to Baytown, didn't you?
Yes, sir, I did.
There were people in Baytown that you saw, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you didn't think that she could do anything like that.
Yes, sir, I did.
And you didn't call the police at that point, correct?
Right.
You waited till later on. And I guess it was later on that evening until when you heard that there was possibly a murder, right?
I didn't hear nothing about possibly being a murder. It kept weighing on me what she said. So when I got home, I called my father-in-law and told him what she had told me.
And that was a long time. I mean, that was later on in the evening, correct?
About 4.
Chris,
I guess.
we fired our grant writer. We couldn't afford them. No joke.
I have nothing further, Judge. For this hearing.
All right, what do you summarize what you want?
The state submits that all the statements that she just went into in purpose of this hearing are admissible primarily under 80324, which are statements against interest. Alternatively, they can be considered under 801E2 as statements of a co-conspirator.
It has to be the co-conspirator.
The case law that I gave Your Honor this morning in trying to set up for this, it requires some corroborating circumstances. We have that. We've got the evidence in front of the jury that there is in fact a dead girl at Cody Arnold's house that fits with the statements that she made to this witness, where initially she seeks an alibi witness about where she was. She says, I got rid of her, admits to shooting her, describes the mannerism in which she does it. She describes as well that he asked her to take care of it. Now he's got to do what he has to do, which as well is corroborated by the statements that we've already heard from Charles Eiley about how he was trying to get rid of the body.
Go ahead, Mr. Burbank. Anything you want to add?
Of course, we object to reference to hearsay, and of course, the exception is 80324. It is a possible co-conspirator, but it has to have a sufficient reliability, an issue of reliability, which I don't believe is there. There was a period of time in between when this supposedly happened, and later on with the car and trustworthiness, where she thought that it had to do something with meth and the use in her statement. And I just think, Your Honor, that self-serving was her statement, especially in light of somebody that has taken a guilty plea prior to this and admitting her guilt and in all her actions.
Say that the last part again.
That she's admitted her guilt in her actions. And there's no indication that there was ever any agreement at this point between Mr. Arnold and the person who actually did this. Ms. Ship.
Okay. Anything else?
Just a response. The timing, there's nothing self-serving about what this lady
Yeah, wasn't what I didn't understand that.
All this
what was self-serving about what was being said by the declarant? I think it's just completely, it seems inculpatory to me.
Supposedly somebody orders her to do that. That's the self-serving. That's the indication.
That what?
That the self-serving is, oh, I'm really not guilty of what I'm doing because someone told me to do it. And now I've done what he asked me to do. And I'm leaving now, which we know she did.
Well, the court would note people taking part in a murder to me act incoherently. That's not reasonable thought to begin with, but the murders happen and people are held accountable. I think the hearing in this particular instance with this witness is a matter that Bingham versus State it controls 987 Southwest 2nd 54, which cites the Texas Rules of Evidence that this court helped write, Rule 803, Subpart 24. Admission of a declarant's hearsay statement, which it is hearsay of the declarant that this lady is reciting here under oath, but the person who told her, the declarant statement that she makes was against her interests, the declarant's interests, and such statements are not limited to their admission at a declarant's criminal trial. It can be used for other purposes, such as placing a party as a co-conspirator of a crime. A statement against interest exception requires the trial court to determine, one, whether the statement in question tends to expose the declarant to criminal liability. It plainly does, and places her in the position of a homicide and in attempts to cover up evidence from a homicide. And two, whether it's corroborated with circumstances indicating trustworthiness. This court finds that in this particular situation, the statements of this witness is corroborated by other evidence so far in this trial, and this witness has not been impeached in any way. Thus, the court will overrule the defendant's objection and will allow its admission in this trial. Go ahead. Bring the jury in. Thank you.
You will bring the jury.
He's worried that all this status is done. So again, the authority to do this to the jury. We don't know what she told. Okay. We all speak of different language than that. I think you know.
Once the jury comes in, we should move the paper, which effectively turns the camera back on. Just waiting patiently. Interesting about the co-conspirator statements against interest. Yes, in the co-conspirator's case, I would have said for her immediately, yes, that comes in. That's an exception against for hearsay, makes it admissible. But the judge explains, according to the Texas rules that he helped write, that those statements are not just limited to the co-conspirator's trial. They also can be used for other purposes, such as placing a co-defendant at the scene. And so they're allowed to come in this trial. That's the first time I've seen a statement like that allowed in under that rule. Has anyone been able to find the jury members anywhere? They were out in the hall last time we checked.
Record shall show the jury is seated in the courtroom. All parties are present, and state may go forward with its questioning of this witness. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. So when we took that break, Ms. Moon, I think you had just told the jury about how you had observed some different mannerisms in Miss Chelsea Shipp.
Okay.
And you asked her, I believe you said, you asked her if she wanted to talk. You're here if you need anything.
Yes, sir.
So let's pick up there. What happens after you said, "I'm here if you need me"?
We got into her truck to talk, and that's when she proceeded to tell me that she took care of Caitlin, and I said, "What do you mean by that?"
Hold on for just a second. I'm sorry. She's got a soft voice.
She sure does.
I'm sorry.
Could you get her, move the chair closer to the microphone so that the jury at the far end can hear? Thank you.
I do this every trial. You're not the only one. Seems like I'm always having to move somebody up.
Thank you.
All right, so the judges, I want this jury to hear what you've got to say.
Can you hear me?
And if they can hear you at the end, everybody else can.
Okay.
So you had just told us that y'all went outside, you got into her car, the truck, right? Because y'all now swapped cars back.
Yes.
She's in her truck.
Yes.
And she tells you what, ma'am?
That she had gotten rid of Caitlin. And I said, "What do you mean by that?" And she said, "I shot her." And I said, "Beat her up?" Because I didn't want to believe that what she just said. And she said, "No, I shot her. I did what I had to do, and now Cody's got to do what he has to do."
Right, so when you question her about the shooting, I believe she made some towards, you suggest she made a hand gesture?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and show the jury again what that was.
Kind of did. Like she shot her.
Did that make it clear to you what she meant by that?
Yes, sir.
Did you ask her where Caitlin was?
I did. I said, where's she at?
What'd she say?
She didn't really respond to where she was. She just said Cody was going to take care of it. He was going to do what he had to do with the body.
Did she tell you anything that indicated Cody wanted her to do this?
Yes, she said that he asked me to take care of something.
Did she refer to it as a problem? Okay, I only want you to go by what you remember.
Okay.
He just asked you, excuse me.
He asked me
Chelsea?
to take care of something. So I did what I had to do. Now he has to do what he has to do.
Any doubt in your mind that Mr. Arnold knew what she was doing based upon what she was telling you?
Yes, sir.
Did it sound like they had planned to do it?
Yes, sir.
Is that the impression you were left with?
Yes, sir.
All right, so did that conversation then move on to the gun?
Yes, sir.
What did she say about the gun?
She said if anybody asked about where the gun was, she said it was stolen. She was going to say it was stolen.
And again, you're just taking all this information in, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, tell the jury how you're reacting to somebody telling you all these things.
I was just tripping. I wanted to really get out of the truck as fast as I could. But I didn't really know if she was doing it for attention, or what.
Did you find it initially hard to believe?
Yes, sir. I did.
Why?
Because she was not, I didn't think she was the type of person to do something like this. She was responsible. She was, normal.
Kind of like what we said about before we took the break. You didn't see that her doing something like this, did you?
Not at all.
That she admitted it to you?
Yes, sir, she did.
And she told you what Cody's responsibility was in the plan.
Yes, sir.
So how quickly did you get out of that truck?
Pretty fast.
I think your words were you were tripping when you heard that.
I was.
Got out of there, and then what'd you do next, man?
I went inside and I told my mom and went to work. I went to work that day.
So you immediately shared it with somebody
I
else?
immediately shared it with my mother. She told me I should take it seriously, and it just bothered me all day. It was on my mind all day long.
So I think if I remember right, man, this is all happening about 8 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yes, sir.
So when is it that you finally said, hey, I got a call, I got to see what's going on here?
I went to work and it, like I said, it bothered me all day. So as soon as I got home, I called my father-in-law and told him, and he told me to take it seriously, not to touch anything in my car or anything, and call the surrounding county.
And who's your father-in-law?
Bradman.
What's he do for a living then?
He's a detective for Chambers County.
Is he in fact a constable?
Yes, sir.
Is that why you called him?
Yes, sir.
Did you follow his advice?
Yes, sir.
So who did you call first?
I called him first.
After that conversation?
Then Jefferson County.
Was that 911 that you?
Yes, sir.
Did they respond?
Yes, sir.
So when you called, they took it seriously. Showed up at your place?
Yes, sir.
Did you give a handwritten statement?
Yes, sir, I did.
Approach? Yes. That looked like your handwritten statement that you gave?
Yes, sir.
In fact, did you give the deputies 2 different type statements as well? Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
One on March 27th and one on April 6th?
Yes, sir.
All the same information you've told this jury today?
Help us out to complete the thought. What year? I think we all know, but the record does not indicate it at all. Yeah.
Advantage of that real time. 2022, man?
Yes, sir.
Is that the right year?
I believe 4 years ago.
Yeah. Almost 4 years ago, and just in a short time frame, it's going to be 4 years ago exactly.
Yes, sir.
Lots happened between now and then, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you really need all these statements to remember the incident?
No.
You still remember her telling you those things in her truck?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Still surprised, even though you know that she's guilty of that murder?
Yes, sir.
That's what it's. Yes.
Mr. Miller, if you don't know any of, or don't understand my question, stop me and I'll try to rephrase it, okay?
Okay.
You made a comment that Miss Ship was a type of person that you would never think would do something like that. And we're making that comment during your testimony.
Okay.
So now that you know that Miss Ship was charged and indicted for murder, admitting in front of this court that she shot somebody. Not just shot somebody, but there's testimony I'm putting up State's Exhibit number 12. And must have walked into the room while she was laying there and put a gun to the side of her head and pulled the trigger. What kind of a person is that now, in your opinion?
Horrible.
Horrible. Someone not in their right mind.
Yes, sir.
Someone that really doesn't know any control of what she's doing. correct?
Correct.
Did you know whether or not she was doing meth that day?
Yes, sir, I did not know.
You know she does meth.
I did know she didn't.
You know she did a lot of meth. What does meth usually do to people? Make them crazy, paranoid. So let's break this down a little bit. Friday evening, they come over to your house at the beach. Is that your story?
I live in Hampshire. They came to my house.
Where?
In Hampshire.
In Hampshire.
Winnie.
Okay, Winnie. Okay. And they stop over, and it's the three of them.
Yes, sir.
You realize that possibly Cody Arnold was seeing both those girls.
Yes.
Because you realized, did you not, that Chelsea made comments to you in reference that she didn't like what Cody was doing,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Didn't like that girl at all.
Right.
And did you realize that Cody and Miss Stone had been living together for at least a month or 2 months before then in this very same place, this house? And I show you State's Exhibit number 1. You ever been to Cody's place?
Sir.
Well, that's Cody Arnold's father's and where they lived. Okay. But they had been staying together, testimony was, for at least a month before, maybe more. Chelsea didn't like that, did she? They were a couple. Well, did you realize that Miss Stone got on Facebook and started publishing that she was possibly expecting a child?
I didn't know that.
When they came over that Friday night, and I say it's Friday, because Sunday morning was when the truck came back, right? Or your vehicle came back. Was it Sunday morning?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That they didn't say anything about she was expecting, you said she was quiet and stuff, that's Miss Stone.
She never said anything to me about our being married.
But it looked like Cody and Caitlin were boyfriend and girlfriend, right?
Yes, sir.
And then didn't anything, it never appeared out of the ordinary, right? When they came over, did y'all party?
No, sir.
Okay. But you were, that isn't when they changed vehicles, right? So they left that night, correct? And then when was the next time that you heard from Chelsea in reference to changing vehicles?
Next day.
Around noon. And was it at noon that she picked up the vehicle, or was it after that?
Around between 12 and 1, maybe.
Okay, 12 and 1. And Chelsea and Cody came over to your house to change vehicles.
No, we met at the beach at the rollover pass.
That's because you were working.
I was working down there.
Okay, so they went down to rollover pass. And you all hung out for a while? Or just changed vehicles?
No, we talked for a little bit, maybe 5-10 minutes, and went our separate ways.
Huh? And it appeared to you that they were a couple. You testified, right? You pointed to these alternate jurors. Okay. So you knew that there was some rivalry going on. I didn't say that right. There was something going on between the girls, or at least Chelsea's mind. Okay. So they must have had a plan, according to your testimony, right?
Yes, sir.
They were going to get your car, right?
Yes.
And use it for what reason? You don't know?
She just said she had to do some errands, run some errands. I didn't know. Wow.
Did she go over to Baytown or did you go over that day?
I went to bed.
You went to Baytown. So she had to run some errands.
Okay.
So she got you involved in this plan because she wanted to get your car. Right? Well, you don't know, do you? I mean, you talked about there was a plan. Remember the conversation between you and Mr. Ham? The plan. Okay. So the plan, I guess, was to change cars and then go back to Cody's house.
I don't know what their plan was.
Well, it couldn't have been to take her anywhere because that's not what happened. So it wasn't, I guess, the plan was to kill her in Cody's bedroom. If that's the plan. And that's what happened. Well, does it sound like a plan?
I mean, I guess.
What?
Yeah, yes.
Miss Boone?
I guess, but I don't know. I don't know what their plan was.
Miss Boone, if and I'm not saying accusing you of anything, but if you were going to commit murder, would you do it in your parents' house, in your bedroom? You wouldn't, would you? Or would you then involve one of your closest friends or a close friend to say, give me your car, just so that you can repark it back in front of where it happened? No. Or to do it when Dad's home? Cody's dad was home. Doesn't sound like much of a plan, does it?
No, sir.
You never saw Cody that day or the day before that he looked like he was worried about anything, correct? They were just as their usual self, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you had known Cody, right?
I knew of Cody. I hadn't been around Cody that much.
Well, you did know him. You were friends.
I didn't do it with both friends.
And you all hung out together. I mean, you're all in the same circles, right?
I got one thing, the other maybe that's about Cody.
One thing I have to ask you, Ms. Bowen, and forgive me, back then you were 47 and Cody was 20, 21, and she was 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't think that was odd that you would hang around such young people?
And I wasn't hanging around them.
Okay. Testimony that this possibly happened on Saturday afternoon about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You called about about 10 or 11 o'clock that night. Remember the text messages that were shown to you saying, hey, get me back my vehicle. She answered you, right? Did you know where she was?
Yeah, she said she was at Stone.
At Arsenal's house? Doing meth.
I didn't know.
And then whatever they were doing all night, she ended back up where at 7 o'clock in the morning at your house? And that was in Winnie? And you knew immediately, based on your prior knowledge, that something was wrong or she wasn't herself. Now this is 15, 16 hours after this possibly happened.
Yes, sir.
And you knew what she did the night before into the day or to the hours. Did she say she was leaving? Did you know whether or not she had any bags packed?
No, sir, because whenever she had left my house that morning, I had said something about maybe stopping by her house, because her dad lived right there by the cut. And I didn't stop. I just was trying to make conversation just to go.
Do you know if she was there?
Her truck was there.
All right.
And on board. So.
It appears in reference to the plan, the only problem was Chelsea and Caitlin, or Chelsea's perception of Caitlin and Cody. That was the agitation and the jealousy, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
And she admitted doing the deed and walking away and leaving Cody there, correct?
Yes, sir.
Saying that's his problem. He's got to do whatever he wants to do.
Yes, sir.
And I think I asked you, but you didn't see where on Facebook that Caitlin was talking about being pregnant and he's part of it and stuff like that. You were accused of a crime like this and you didn't think you did it. Would you tell your story to law enforcement? Trying to say I was either put up to it or let me tell you what my role is.
I don't object. That's just your speculation.
Did you realize, I'll move on, Judge. Did you realize that they finally found her up around Austin?
Yes.
And that she had changed the plates on her truck? Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
You knew that she cut her hair.
They did on the news.
She didn't look that way when you last talked to her. Dyed it and cut it, right?
Yeah.
And through all that, because Winnie and Hampshire Fournette are all together, and you realize that Cody never left that house, that he was arrested there, and that is his house where Caitlin was. Did you know that? Is that yes?
He had never left, no.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about he didn't run away. But you had a chance to talk to Ms. Shipp anytime after she was arrested? Did she ever reach out to you?
No.
Did you understand all my questions? Did you answer them to the best of your ability?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you'd like to change? Like, oh, maybe I should have answered this or added that? Clarification.
Yes, sir.
You were clear on everything I asked. No confusions. Not going to get back up here and say, oh, we need to clarify some things.
Okay.
Perfectly clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pass the witness, jump at the recall.
The prosecutor who did not dress up like a leprechaun today is.
I'll do all the clarifying.
Whoa.
Okay. Let's talk about the timeline. So is it true that you saw the three together on Friday, three being Cody Arnold, Chelsea Shipp, and Caitlin Stone?
Sure.
Is it? So that's all that happened Friday, right? So timeline wise, on Saturday, the next day, is it noon? Is it about noon when y'all are exchanging the car? At the cut? Okay. And you went your way to Baytown? Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Mr. Burbank asked you the question about assuming that the death was anywhere between 2:30, 3 o'clock. You remember him asking you that? He's referring to this particular day I'm on, okay?
Yeah.
Am I right when I talk with the jury later when the case is closed that the Redneck Riviera RV Park is on Highway 124 in Pierce Road? And I believe through my direct testimony, you said that that was roughly between 4:30 and 6 o'clock that you were there at Az's house.
Yes, sir.
And is that when Chelsea and Cody Arnold were hanging out like a couple eating McDonald's?
Yes, sir.
Which would have been 2 hours after the alleged death.
Yes.
And we go all the way to 10 o'clock in that time frame that you're texting, trying to get your car back. And you get a response somewhere close to midnight that she's at Stoney's house.
Sir.
Are all those the accurate time frames you know on that date?
Yeah.
Then we go into Sunday morning when she shows back up at your house at 8 a.m. and the statements that we've talked with the jury about, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I wanted to highlight, man. Thank you. That's what it is.
Anything else? Mr. Burbank, anything?
Mr. Moon, that was the plan, right? You don't have to answer that. No further questions, Judge.
All right.
Was outside of scope.
Probably a good time, Judge.
Take a break, one more, and then come back and we'll go through the rest of this afternoon. Thank you. Everyone else remains seated while the jury exits close.
You want potential sitting here. I know I'll get released when you leave.
I love this paper. He gets me every time. The cut was a section on the beach or something? Is that what I heard? No, I know we use the term the cut on the beach in metal detecting, but it's a little bit different. It changes all the time. It's not a fixed location.
Yes. We're in short recess.
Do you mean to leave you?
And we're muted. All right, I think we've got about 15 minutes. We've got to put in a little bit of time here to get to the end of this one. This trial did start this morning. During our court hopping, we found it because we were in Judge Stevens' court, and he said he had a jury trial that was beginning next, and we said, we're here for it. So, jury are all from Jefferson County, Texas. They know what the cut is. The cut here is the canal. Paper now looks like a jigsaw puzzle. I'm trying to finagle access to the convention center Saturday night to set things up. The only issue is I'm going to be in at another. There's set up on Saturday night at one location that I have to be there at, and then while that's set up and running, I have to also be setting up at the second location, which actually has two locations. So I've got 1 and 2 and 3 at the same time. I don't know how I'm going to get this all done. It's going to be a fun weekend for sure. A little bit of snark, a little spicy back and forth on this one. Is there? Need to clone myself. Yes. But 2 pianos will be good. I'm excited about that. Pretty sure one of them is going to end up being my son's when he moves out, but. see if we can find this. Judge does have some allergies. He's been blowing his nose all afternoon. Let me check something real quick. Let's go here. And right here, we're all the way live. Okay. Yeah, just waiting. Okay, we're as up to the minute as we can get. I like this case, as Donna Dunn. Who thinks he's guilty of killing her? It sounds so far that that they are. It's more or less a canal between Galveston Bay and the Gulf. It was filled in by the Texas Land Management a few years ago. Well, that's too bad. We're in the piney woods. Pine pollen is often, oh my goodness. It's just barely started here. Just barely. Like we went out to our car yesterday, or maybe it was the day before. I think it was on Sunday. Headed to church. We all got in the car, and there was just a little thin film of little yellow pollen on the car, on the white one, which means that it's about to begin. So this week's just going to be brutal. 3D print another RA. I'm actually going to recruit my my oldest at home son to help me, and he's going to be the muscle and the runner. Of course, I'll have to pay him, so it's all good. If anyone missed earlier, the cut refers to a rollover pass, an area about 5 miles before Crystal Beach, Texas, on State Texas Highway 87 going toward Galveston Island. Never been down Galveston area. I think the girl that is serving time did the bang bang. We believe she did as well. She's told people she did. She has pled guilty to that. She's serving time on that. And unfortunately, she was half the problem. The other half was getting rid of the body, and that was his problem. But that sounds like they made a deal. That's what it was going to be. And that means they're co-conspirators, and they're both guilty. I live in Georgia. My truck is supposed to be red, but it looks more yellow lately. This is a slower paced trial, possibly because they speak a little bit slower down in Texas, just taking their time to get things done. But it should be about 2 days here. Maybe a little more. But it's a murder trial for sure, with a jury as well. Almost went down to watch this one. Yeah, it's going to be over before it's nearly begun, so it's a quick one, I think. Would have been a one-day trial at normal talking speed. Speaking slow in Texas depends on the region. Yeah, the judge is fairly quick when he wants to be. He can ramble on, but he talks quickly. The lawyers have a little bit slower speaking style. I think Monday, the Kelsey, I can't remember the last name, Fitzgerald. I think that one starts on Monday. He speaks fluent Spanish as well. That could be useful. I barely speak half coherent English. Just checking some breaking news right now. There's some Joint Base McGuire Dix Lakehurst Air Force in New Jersey is currently on lockdown after some suspicious packages were discovered. That was it was a few minutes ago. Hopefully it turns out to be nothing. The judge likes his S's. He's like the snake in the Robin Hood cartoon, right? You know which one I'm talking about. You know the one. Robin Hood and Little John are walking through the forest. That one. You know that one. Slytherin. Yes, for those that were hoping I could watch the Afro Man trial, it is just copyright strike material all over the place. Playing music videos. Oh my goodness, there's one way to get a big old strike. And crazy trial, but cannot play it, unfortunately. It's a lawsuit. The police, the Afro Man trial. The police are suing Afro Man for making a music video using security camera footage of them raiding his house. So, and he mocks them, like a ton. Oh, did everyone hear about the meteorite in Ohio? Tanya, if you can find the meteorite, you're rich. You're rich. You're rich. Those things are worth a bundle of money. So, check your lawn for massive holes. I heard that something went over Ohio and exploded. Not sure where it landed, but wasn't there something about lemon cake? I think they played lemon pound cake in court. The whole music video. Yeah, it's good and silly. It's it's got innuendo. It's got a fair amount of drug use references, and it pokes a lot of fun at law enforcement. I felt it, but thankfully it's not in my front yard. Miss McGuire, get your magnet on a stick. Go out there and find it. Big money. Jennifer Kittrell says, hi, nice to see you. Can you please speak up? I have you on 45 and I can't hear you. I usually only turn it up to 11. 45 that's high. Let's see. Test 1 2. Is that better? Test 1 2. I've cranked up the audio a bit. You just hear my fan. Can you hear that? Fan on. And now fan off. On. You can hear the fan in the background, right? My Facebook profile is full of people asking for permission to search properties. There's, yeah, and sadly there'll be people out searching whether or not they have permission or not. So, load the old 12 gauge with buckshot. Way loud. I could hear you before. Yeah, that's really loud. Why don't you just make 10 louder? Well, I'm actually working with what's called broadcast meters. Broadcast meters tell me exactly how loud to have certain inputs. Why am I +3 on this? Let me bump that down and then turn this up. There we go. I like that a little better. It's at the same level, but change where the gain is. What the broadcast meters help me do is just make sure that I'm putting out a signal that's consistent, and I can just match all the levels, make sure court is not too loud and I am not too loud. And the last thing we want is clipping. Clipping is when I turn the volume up so high that it maxes out and it cuts off the top end of the. Yeah, you don't want that. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Check 1 2. Here we go. Missed this morning. Any chance of a recap what this trial is about? Yes, Cody Arnold's accused of killing his underage girlfriend. He was 21 at the time. She was 16. She said she was pregnant. He said, we have a problem. And apparently, according to the state, got together with his other girlfriend and developed a plan to solve the problem. The girlfriend, who was currently serving a 40-year prison sentence for her role in this crime, eliminated her with a 380 in the head. The body stayed in Cody's bed for at least 24 hours. He just couldn't do his part to get rid of the body, and eventually the police went in, searched it, found her there, and arrests ensued. Where in Ohio is the meteor? Where's the meteor? What county did it land in? All right, got a nice compliment last night from Emily D. Baker on her live about his techie tech. Yeah, it was nice of her. That was really cool. I heard that shout out. Emily's great at what she does. Just absolutely phenomenal. And the numbers back that up. Shelly Small, where in Ohio? It landed. Let's see. Just saying, I always have to turn the volume down when I go to another YouTube channel from yours. I thought it was just me. Interesting. I do talk quietly. So I try to keep court loud and me quiet. Mostly because I don't like talking over court. I don't want you to miss what happens in court. Medina County, just south of Cleveland. That's where the meteor is. Northeast Ohio. I will tell you that there was one more, there was a statement by the family made last night, late. Like the video from court just kept going in the parking lot. And finally, one of the family members came out and basically said, "We're glad it's over. We'll have more to talk after sentencing." That was almost the entire statement. And thank you very much for being here. But that was the whole statement. I didn't play it for that reason. I didn't put it up, but it did happen. We can expect the family to have a larger statement or a longer statement, possibly something more prepared through a spokesperson after sentencing in about 60 days. Near Lake Erie in Northeast Ohio. We heard it in Cleveland. I've never heard a meteor, but I've seen one explode. Just the fireball across the sky. You can see the different colors of the flame on the meteor. It just seems so close. It's just explodes. Just unbelievable. It was amazing. I was out standing in a parking lot as the sun was going down with a couple friends of mine, just shooting the breeze, and that happened. We all just stared, just like, did we just see what we think we saw? It was really cool. The family wasn't shocked how fast it happened. They were not expecting a 3-hour deliberation or under 3-hour deliberation, but I'm sure they're happy with the outcome. Just waiting for the judge to bring us back to court. Sort of wrap up. Let's see what we've got right now. We've got new guy on the stand. Who's new witness? Who dis? That's the old witness. Why is he back? Isn't that the same guy we just heard from? That's the inmate. He's back on the stand talking to people. Maybe he's got his own little. Maybe this is his proceeding. He's finally showed up for. They're doing it during the break. Wish the judge had turned the mic on so we could hear what's going on. That's the jail guy. They say it exploded midair, so there won't be a big meteor in someone's yard. There's all sorts of videos, but there could be a lot of little pieces. No, this is a different guy. Might be his evil twin. If he has yellow bracelets on, we'll know it's the same dude. he looks a little different. It's got to be somebody else. Judge cracks open the book of the law. Why is he talking and we're not hearing? Because they're not on the record right now. They're waiting for the jury to come back. But people are just shooting the breeze with the witness during the break, because that's how they roll here in this courtroom. I knew it someday aliens would invade Ohio. I was watching a, let's see if I can find it. I was watching an online computer, a gamer, a guy who streams computer games online. He was playing a game called Roadside Research, which the whole premise of the game, which is it's just like it's a silly game, right? It's a time waster, is that you are an alien and you've been sent down to sort of research people and sort of get to know what these human things are all about before the big invasion. And your cover is that you are running a gas station and you're trying to sell things to the aliens or to the humans. And so you're a bunch of aliens, like you're one alien, and you can have like 3 buddies be alien friends with you, with like a paper mask on your face because you've got like a big alien head with just a paper mask. And none of the tourists know that you're an alien. They all just come in and you're just, the whole game is just like stalking the gas station with the items that the people want to buy. And this is so silly. And cleaning the restrooms and ordering more fuel for the pumps and everything. It's gas station attendant game, but you're an alien. Yeah, I had to laugh. It's one of those things you can watch late at night, and it's funny. But now that I explain it during the daytime, I'm embarrassed that I brought it up. It actually sounds fun. Yes. Steam, delivering high-quality games to households across America. All right, this is Southeast Texas. We talk to everyone whether we know you or not, even in the Walmart. Love it. I do wonder what this witness is saying as we're waiting for audio to come back. When is the podcast? Podcast is on Thursday nights, so we have 2 more nights before the next one. Actually sounds like our local gas station, says I am Super T. That's why I don't go to Walmart, says Heather from Texas. There's also crime scene cleaner, exactly what it says on the tin. Wow. I hope the judge just didn't forget to turn the audio back on. And uncover the camera. I live in Raleigh, and I see at least 3 Walmart open carries each time. Is it more in Texas? It's funny because I think Walmart officially has come out and said we don't want you to open carry in our stores. That's my recollection, and but they never enforce it. Mendy Lou, I saw this on the news just a little bit ago. It came across my Twitter feed. Corey Richens' attorneys have filed for Corey's mom to be appointed a lawyer in the Corey Richens case. What? Not in Corey's mom's case. I don't think there is one. But the mom needs an appointed lawyer in Corey Richens' case. That one's going to make you scratch your head a little bit. Minimum wage games are all the rage with kids these days. Well, Roblox, that's the whole idea behind Roblox, right? My kid fights various historical wars on Roblox. Guts and Black Powder and Lexington and Concord are his favorite. Change history. Can you repeat that? Yes. Corey Richens' attorneys, okay, Miss Nestor and Miss Lewis and Ramos, have filed a motion in Corey Richens' case today asking the court to appoint a lawyer to Corey Richens' mom in the Corey Richens case. Wow. For sentencing, well, she probably does want to talk. And the fact that they're saying appoint a lawyer means she probably needs counsel to make sure she doesn't say something that would incriminate herself, which makes us ask the question, what could she possibly incriminate herself over in this case or, related to it? Can they appoint me to be a lawyer? I could use a jump in pay. Tanya, I think you have to cross the bar first, pass that exam. But luckily in the state of Virginia, you don't have to go to law school first. You can just, take the test. If you're smart or get lucky, whichever the case may be, you can become an attorney like overnight. I thought you said appoint her as an attorney. Oh no, that would be different. That would be a little bit different. It was for in case she took the stand. It was an order on hold. Since she didn't, it's an unsigned order. Okay, it just barely posted. That makes much more sense. Oh my goodness. Drama Llama Mama, thank you for that one. And what do Corey's attorneys know and suspect? Yeah, that changes everything. Now we can just, it was nothing. It becomes a nothing burger at that point. I think the judge forgot to unmute the mics. No, because the paper's still on the screen. Let's give the Virginia bar exam a go. Nothing to lose. That would be a fun meetup if we ever did a meetup together. We'd all just show up at the bar exam. I think it would be cheaper than going to, say, CrimeCon. You just pay for the bar exam. We all just take the test and just see who passes. And then it's like, yay, congratulations, you're a lawyer. Then we could all go out for dinner or something. I think that would be a great idea. Let's flood the legal system with new lawyers who are educated from YouTube. Yay. What could possibly go wrong? Maybe that's what. Is there math involved? Probably some. Multiple choice? I hope so. I think what would be really interesting is maybe CrimeCon needs that. It's like, one of the things you can do one day is just show up and take the bar exam. It's like, hey, while you're here, have you ever thought of becoming a lawyer? Now you can. Then like every CrimeCon, if you don't pass, you can just go back and take it again and see if you do better. There are essays and multiple choice. Yes, the essays are going to get us because, you need to know your case law and, argue appropriately. We know stuff, but we don't know the take the bar exam level stuff. Yes, I'm not recommending that. I just thought it would be funny. How much does it cost? A few $100s? Let me check. We have to do Virginia. Okay, let's see. Oh, $1,150 for most first-timers. So there's a $575 application fee and a $575 character and fitness fee. Hang on, there's a fitness portion? I guess we have to start working out. Additional costs include a $175 laptop fee. What? You rent a $175 laptop? And a potential separate fees for bar review courses. Often another $1,000, bringing the total to over $1,300 for registration alone. Then you can reapply for $575. So the first one's expensive, and after that it gets cheaper. It took JFK Jr. 3 or 4 times to pass the New York bar. Love that idea. Color me in. You know, it would be fun just to see how you know where you score, where your knowledge is. All of us who have never taken the bar exam are like, how hard could it be? I mean, really, it's a multiple guess, right? And the lawyer's like, you have no idea. You have no idea. Will they allow a group effort? Yes, but only one of us gets to be the lawyer when we're done. You need a tutor in the law library. Criminals become criminals overnight. Why not lawyers? It could happen. You saw Catch Me If You Can, right? Wouldn't want to take the bar exam. I don't drink much. Let's go ahead and take it and see how we do first. You go first. In the words of Judge Boyd, a little knowledge is dangerous. We heard that today for sure. Where's the jury, Judge? Can you bring him back? Looks like they're coming in right now. You sit there. You come over there. Take the paper off the camera. Then go back and sit in your seat, says the judge. Do it now. Get the paper. Take the paper off. Points at it. Kim didn't pass. Ah, yeah, that was sad. We all cried for days. I had a professor who had which is the better answer exams. Those sucked. Yeah, because then you have like that. One of them is right, but one of them is righter, and that's just it's terrible. Raise your hand if you ever wanted to take an IQ test like versus your boss because you knew you were way smarter than they were. Walker, that's funny. I don't know. The judge's body language and demeanor seems to be we're still in break. They've taken long breaks. I think he's just waiting for another juror to come back. Could be a witness. Well, Judge, we might have to bail on this trial if you don't let us in. You have to wear a suit to take the Virginia bar exams? No. What? It's terrible. You can skip law school, but they make you wear a suit anyway. What fun is that? I'd like to come in flip-flops straight from the beach. It's flip-flops or nothing, says Francis Candy. Off topic, need cooking help, braising a brisket. Yeah, braising a brisket for the first time. Should the liquid be higher than the meat? I don't think so. but I've never done it either, so don't take my word for it. The women's bathroom down there has only 2 stalls. There might be a line. And by the time the line goes through, then the line starts again. Right, that's what I'm thinking. The liquid should not be higher than the meat. That would be boiling. It's the longest 30 minutes of my day. Sorry, the last 30 minutes of work is terrible. I have a dress code to take the exam. When I took the bar, I wore my D&D shirt that said "Life is Pain" on it, and I did not test in Virginia. The judge has a "I'm patiently waiting" look, not "I'm listening to court proceedings." The witness is also not looking to the jury at all. I think we're just waiting for the jury to come back. I didn't know for sure what braising meat involved. Sear first, then small amount of liquid, apparently. Did a brisket in the crock pot. It was amazing. I tell you, Mrs. R.A. can do there's like a pork loin something. I don't know what it is. Maybe that's just what it is, a pork loin. In the crock pot, low heat, and she does this amazing, amazing blend of seasonings and spices. And then my goal is to find it before anyone else knows dinner's ready and eat as much of it as I can so that we have to order pizza or something else because there's no food left. Kildred, we have a runaway juror. He has a "I'm falling asleep" look in court when it's in session. I think so. It looks like we're getting the audio back here in just a second. What are we doing? Looks like he's refreshing his memory. Judge is using all the hand gestures. Okay. I think we're missing court. We might have to bail on this one. Don't call the court. Don't call the court. That'd not be good. How's your St. Patrick's Day gone? I forgot to tell you the results of the poll. About 40%, 42% of you said that your celebration for St. Patrick's Day specifically included food. I'm not sure if that means green food or corned beef and cabbage, which I guess cabbage is technically green. Forgot it's Green Day. And here you've been listening to Linkin Park instead all day long. Missed your opportunity. Did you stay live for the verdict last night? We did, Fat Moto. We did. It was late. It was over a 10-hour stream for us, which is why my brain's a little bit fried today. Got 13 inches of snow since last night. It was just above freezing here. Yeah, the judge has a "court has not yet started" look on his face, for sure. Made guacamole. It's green. I put guac on my salad. I'm not sure if that's like legal to do, but I did. Yesterday I put guac on my salad. You cook cabbage down, it's not green anymore. The water turns green, the cabbage turns white, right? Jennifer, this is funny. I was going to do corned beef and cabbage, but I was unloading groceries and the cabbage fell out of the bag and rolled down the hill. So now it's brisket in the Dutch oven because life. The cabbage would not participate. Scent Bunny says, fun fact, I've never known anyone in Ireland to eat corned beef for Paddy's Day. It seems to be an Irish-American tradition. We do that a lot. We assign the traditions to countries that don't celebrate them. Had bacon and guac sandwich for lunch. That's good. Let's call it a night. I'm very tempted to do that right now. Tell you what, it's 5:17. The judge is tired. I'm tired. It's time to bail. We waited long enough, Judge. Sorry. We tried, we failed, and now we're done. So Brady B says, no, don't go. But we have to. We deserve a break. I have to build, like physically connect everything that I'm going to have connected for this weekend just to make sure it works. I have so much new equipment. I have a new microphone, 2 new audio adapters, a 200-foot cable run. I hope should transfer the signal just fine. Power injector I need to test, and then I've got pianos and bought a new soundboard that's coming Thursday as well. So yeah. Put the link for Judge Stevens' courtroom, please. Just search for Judge Stevens' court in let's see, on YouTube, and it will pull it up. You're able to find it on your own? Yes, for sure. It's on YouTube. His live streams on YouTube. It's shared for the public to see. Amber's rushing us out the door. Yeah, they're like.
I probably need to clarify with this witness about the statement issue. I made a lot of statements. I want to clarify that with him so that we can be certain. All right. Yes, sir. Did you give more than one type statement? Yes, sir.
We just got audio back.
Did you hear what he just asked you?
Did I give more than one type of statement?
Typed.
That was meaning typed. I thought you meant
one in which somebody. All right, so I know how these are generated.
Yes, sir.
And for the record, I'm showing you a 3-page document that is entitled Witness Statement Affidavit. Yes, sir. Is this the item that you were asked to read by the defense counsel?
Sir.
Is this that item you were reading that defense counsel gave you?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature here?
Yes, sir.
And you remember somebody notarizing your signature?
Yes, sir.
So as far as statements go, is this the only type where you have your signature and somebody notarized it?
Yes, sir.
You remember being at your Aunt Brandy's house on Piker Road?
Yes, sir.
And talking to a deputy?
Yes, sir.
And telling him what was happening?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember him telling you you were going to go down to the station and give a formal statement?
Yes, sir.
Is that why you're thinking there's 2?
Yes, sir.
Was it in fact just March 27th and not March 30th?
Yes, sir.
Judge, I submit that the testimony that he's offered here today explains what's in here in the writing. It is based upon his independent memory as he's testified here today. And they all amount to statements made by Chelsea Shipp about the extent of the agreements between her and Cody Arnold that led to this murder. They fall under the exception of 803-24 and the ruling the court made as to the other witness in compliance with Bingham versus State. The statements that he made are not the kind that anybody would make in a normal situation. It is a hearsay exception because it rises to the level of an admission about criminal offense, as well as having the necessary corroborating circumstances that support its proof. What we heard from defense is really an attempt at cross-examination that's going to be dealing with in front of the jury, but not as to the admissibility and as to the statements, Judge.
It's not a cross-examination, Judge. It's that at the first time, 4 years later, after a subject has been given a written statement and a statement that encapsulates whatever statements there were, that he's now ad-libbing on other details that were not in the statement. So then, in effect, I have no way to have been prepared for a defense with what he's now just come up with, all these little details. Because what we heard was from the last witness that she shot and getting rid of the body was his problem. Well, he's saying in the statement, well, I was supposed to get rid of the body. And how do I get rid of a body? And now she's coming up with, the gun was thrown in the water. He was going to put in the trash bag. He was going to get sentenced or charged for sexual assault of a minor. First time.
Anything else?
No, yeah.
No. Your objection is overruled. It is admissible under 803 subpart 24 is a statement against interest. A reasonable person making such a statement would have made it only if person believed it to be true because of the reasons set forth about a statement against interest. Also, it is supported by corroborating circumstances that indicates its trustworthiness. And most importantly, though, admissions of a declarant's hearsay statements against interest are not limited to a declarant's criminal trial. We're not talking about this defendant, but what the state contends is the female co-conspirator who actually, according to the state's theory, killed the victim in this case and was part of this defendant is allegedly a co-conspirator in the commission of the offense and the carrying out of the dissipation of the criminal instruments that were used in the commission of the crime. A statement against the interest requires the court to determine whether the statement tends to expose the declarant to criminal liability, and it does, and whether corroborating circumstances indicate trustworthiness. And in this case, the court finds it does, not only from the testimony already given in this trial, but also the matters stated under oath by this defendant. The defendant, this witness clearly states he made two statements. One, he's referring to and acknowledges is transcribed. The other one, I can't tell if it's been transcribed or not. The state says it was part of the evidence and discovery tendered to the defense. This witness, though, states that he never signed a second statement. Before statements were ever used regularly, before there was recordings, evidence in the way of oral statements of events in the past were made by witnesses under oath, and it was the oath that this witness has taken which allowed its admissibility before a jury. And it's for the jury to decide how much weight and credibility will be given. But it is admissible. Your objection is overruled. Bring the jury in. Thank you.
So what was going on there was a proffer, and they forgot to turn the microphone on for us. So everything that was proffered is going to be presented to the jury again right now, assuming we have time tonight.
Your full name is Cody Lee Smith?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
What are the odds of that? I mean, the defendant is Cody Lee Arnold.
There's more Codys.
How many Cody Lees are there in this case?
There's only one Cody Lee Arnold.
Cody Lee.
Yes, sir.
How many Cody Lees are?
The only other Cody I'm thinking of is Cody Myers.
Wow, what are the odds?
Lee.
That's odd.
Yeah, it is odd, Judge.
I guess the Codys are guilty. So
y'all aren't related in any way.
It's going to be confusing for a little fun. Another Lee middle name. Yep. Something down there in the water. Everyone getting named Cody Lee. All right. Back to court. Jury's here. Let's continue.
Well, the record shall now show that the jury is back and seated in the courtroom. Thank you for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. Some of these legal issues are a little complex, and we have to make a thorough record of it. And we're ready to proceed. State may call your witness.
You would call Cody Lee Smith.
And again, raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, sir.
May lower your hand. Thank you.
All right. We're getting rid of Brandy Lee Moon.
State your name for the record.
We're going to
Cody Lee Smith.
I'm going to move that a little bit more to make it easy. Again, my advice is to you is make sure that that last row down there, Ian can hear you. If she can, everybody else can. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Keep your voice up. She's nodding your head. You're doing good. All right. So what do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a pipe fitter and a diesel mechanic.
And don't give me your physical address, but tell me where you live, sir.
I live in Wayne, Texas.
Have you lived there your whole life?
Yes, sir.
Were you living there back in March of 2022?
Yes, sir, I was.
And I believe you're related to one of the other witnesses that testified, are you not?
Yes, sir. That's my aunt.
Okay. Who is your aunt?
Brandy Thibodeau.
Goes by Brandy Moon?
Yes, sir.
What's the difference in those two names there?
One was her maiden name, and the other's her married. So it'd be Moon now. Yes, sir.
Okay. So today it is Brandy Moon.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's your aunt.
Yes, sir.
Assuming you've known her your whole life?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you know an individual by the name of Chelsea Ship?
Yes, sir, I do.
How do you know her?
She's been friends with my sister for the last 10 to 15 years.
Date any of your friends?
Yes, sir, she dated one of my friends.
Who's that?
Skipper Bertrand.
Was that at around the time of this incident we're here to talk to you about?
No, so they ended quite a little bit before that.
Okay. Do you know an individual by the name of Cody Lee Arnold?
Yes, sir, I do.
Oddly enough, you both have the same first and middle name.
Yes, sir.
Do you see him here in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Can you point to him and identify something that he's wearing?
Yes, sir. It'd be the man in the white button-up shirt.
You want to make the record reflect he's identified the defendant, Cody Lee Arnold?
Yes, it will.
Now, how do you know Mr. Arnold?
Me and Cody used to be friends a while back.
Not anymore?
No, sir. We fell out years and years ago, around 11 to 12 years ago.
Are y'all about the same age?
Yes, sir. He's a tad bit younger than me.
How old are you today, sir?
I'm 26 years old.
You think he's about a year younger than you are?
Yes, sir.
Did y'all go to school together?
No, sir.
Different schools? Where'd you go to school?
I went to East Chambers.
For those who don't know, that's there in Winning, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's go to March 26th of 2022. You remember that day?
Yes, sir.
Did you have contact with one of the people that I've been mentioning?
Yes, sir. Chelsea Ship.
Okay. And what was the first contact you had with Miss Ship?
She texted me and said she needed help with something, but would not speak about it over the phone.
You remember about what time you got that text?
I would say around about 8:30, 8:35.
And so what follows up from that, sir?
After that, she
did you text her back?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I texted her back.
And what did you say?
I asked her what she needed help with.
What'd she say?
She said she would not talk about it over the phone and that she wanted to come to my house and talk to me face to face.
Did you say that was okay?
Yes, sir.
Did she show up at your house?
Yes, sir, she did.
Quickly, or did it take a while?
Yes, sir. Took 5 minutes tops.
All right, so she comes to your place. Is that actually a Winnie address?
Yes, sir.
How close to Hampshire Finette is that?
About 10 to 15 miles.
Okay. And so what happens when she gets to your place?
When she got there, she pulled into the driveway. I was walking out. She rolled down her window. I realized she was in my aunt's car. And
what is your aunt's car?
It is a Nissan Maxima.
Did you find that odd that she was in your aunt's car?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you ask her about it?
Yes, sir. She said she just needed to borrow it.
Okay. So you go out. Are you in your driveway?
Yes, sir. I'm in my driveway. She's sitting in the car. She rolled the window down, and I put my hands on my knees and bent down. And we had the conversation through the window.
So you're just kind of squatting over talking to her?
Yes, sir.
She stay in the car?
Yes, sir, she did.
Is there anybody else in the car with her?
No, sir.
Anybody outside the car with you?
No, sir.
You live alone?
Yes, sir.
So you're like, hey, what's going on? What does she say?
Yes. She told me that her and her friend was seeing a younger girl, and that he had asked her to get rid of the girl. And when I said what she meant by get rid of, she said that he had asked her to shoot and kill the girl because she was supposedly pregnant, is what she said. And that if Cody just left the girl, that he would be put on a list for Texas, registered as a sex offender. And they didn't want that to happen, and they feared it. So he had asked her if she would shoot and kill him. And when I asked her who she said, or who she was going to kill for, who the buddy was, she said it was Cody on.
So you learned the he that she was talking about was in fact Cody on?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever learn the name of the girl that was supposed to be killed?
Yes, sir. She told me, but I misunderstood it for Kaylee or Carly.
You now know it's her.
Sir.
Do you know who it was now?
Yes, sir.
Who was it?
It was Kaylee's son.
All right. So Chelsea tells you that, am I right, that she's telling you that her and Cody had this discussion that led to Caitlin's death?
Yes, sir. She said they had been talking about it for a couple of days.
Did you learn in that conversation how old Caitlin was?
I'm sorry, I did not.
Did you learn in that conversation from Chelsea how old Miss Caitlin was?
Yes, sir.
What did
she
you
was
learn?
16 years old.
And did you understand that could result in criminal trouble for Mr. Arnold?
Yes, sir.
Did you in fact say that something about a sex offender?
Something, but yeah. Did I say? Or?
Yeah. What was said along those lines? That's a better question.
She said that Cody Arnold was, which not much younger than me, would have been 21 at the time, I do believe, and that he was seeing a 16-year-old girl, that he thought and she thought he had got her pregnant, and that he did not want to break up with her because even if her parents didn't pursue it, that the state of Texas would pursue to have him put on a sex offender list for the rest of his life.
Be a lot of trouble, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
Right. So she's telling you all this. You're still leaning
Yes, sir.
over, listening to this.
Yes.
What's your reaction to hearing it?
A little taken aback, but not too surprised, as Chelsea was always a bit off-putting to me.
So did you start to question some of the facts she's telling you?
Yes, sir. I started to question them a little bit, and that's when the story quickly shifted from a plan to something she had already done.
So initially you thought it was them talking about a plan?
Yes, sir. That's how she started the conversation, made it seem like it was just a plan and it hadn't happened yet. I told her not to do it, and that's when she told me she had already shot and killed Caleb.
She made those admissions to you?
Yes, sir.
Did she say what Cody was going to do?
She said that it was her job to shoot and kill Caitlin, and it was Cody's job to dispose of the body.
Did she indicate where that killing took place?
Yes, sir. She said inside Cody Arnold's house in one of the bedrooms, and it happened over carpet.
Have you ever been in Cody Arnold's house?
Yes, sir.
So if I show you some pictures, you might recognize it?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 1. Do you recognize this location, sir?
Yes, sir, I do.
I think that's the address right there on the little sticker, the 14925. I pronounce that Cold's Corner.
Yes, sir.
It's probably pronounced a different way.
Yes, sir.
Have you been back into his bedroom?
Yes, sir, I have.
Tell me something you remember about that bedroom.
I know that when you first walk into his door, his bed was right to the left, centered up on the wall. And then blinds, windows straight across from the foot of the bed. His TV was over on the right-hand side of it.
You remember this hallway to get down to it?
Yes, sir. That's as soon as you come through the front door and you turn right. The door on the left is a bathroom. The door straight ahead is his bedroom.
Show you State's Exhibit 10. You remember some of those things hanging on the wall?
Yes, sir.
How about what we see in States 12? Remember those things?
Yes, sir.
I don't know what to call this rebel poster here. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
When you saw that room before, did the bed look like this here?
No, sir. It was scooted a little further away from the wall.
So no doubt that's his room?
Yes, sir. Without a doubt.
When was the last time you were in that room?
Would have been 2013 to 2014, I do believe.
So it's been a little while, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did he have all these posters?
Not all
This
of them,
one?
but some of them.
These. Did Chelsea indicate if the body was still there?
Yes, sir. She said she was still there in bed where they had shot her.
What'd she tell you about the gun?
She said she had gotten rid of the gun at a bridge close to Cody's house off of Cragen Road.
Did she admit it was her gun that was used?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt in your mind that it was a plan where the two were conspiring to kill her?
Without a doubt, they were doing.
Her part was to shoot.
Yes, sir.
His part was to
dispose.
And you knew about it beforehand.
Some pretty solid
According
testimony.
to what she told you, Cody Arnold knew about it before.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the reason was because she was pregnant.
Yes, sir.
At least they thought she was pregnant.
Pregnant line. Yes, sir.
All right, so all these things happened on, that conversation occurs in your driveway on March 26th of 2022.
Yes, sir.
Is it in fact the next day?
Yes, sir. I do believe it was the next day. It's coming home from work there. The detectives were.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. It's like you're reading my mind. So the next day, did you hear from your aunt?
Yes, sir.
About this?
Yes, sir. She had contacted me when I was on the way back to let me know that Chelsea Ship and Cody Arnold planned to borrow her car to get rid of the body, and that she had called her ex-husband's dad, Brad Moon, to ask what to do about it, and he had instructed her not to touch the car, not to drive the car, not to wash it, leave it exactly how it was, and that he'd have a detective there. And she told me the detectives at that time were there, and they were waiting for me to be there to give a statement.
Did you go?
Yes, sir. I did.
Did you tell them the stuff that you told me and the jury today?
Yes, sir. I did.
And did you in fact go down and give a formal written statement, a 3-page written statement where you got to sign off and do all that?
Yes, sir. I did.
Now, as far as the detail that we talked about, am I right, Mr. Smith, that some of the detail that we've been talking about is not in this?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Why is that?
I gave a statement to a formal written statement, but I gave a verbal statement to a Jefferson County officer before they took me downtown to give the formal statement that was notarized.
So you were just talking to an officer at your aunt's house?
Yes, sir.
That's what it is.
Can we approach, Judge?
Yes.
I think there was a little glance at the clock there as you said, over there, approach that way.
Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Defense is saying, Your Honor, my client would like to change his plea to guilty. I thought this stuff wasn't coming in. It's all coming in. It looks really bad for him. Really, he's just, no, I don't know what he's saying right now. I think he's saying that it's getting late in the day. It's 5:43 here. It's 4:43 there. He's probably got 20 minutes of cross-examination of this witness. It's going to be the same sort of questions he had during the first round. He would like a muffin now. Let's see how this goes on. Judge, let us back in. Judge. Please. Thank you. Apparently, we're doing another voir dire of the witness. Little proffer outside the presence of the jury. Proffer round 2. Yeah, the paper.
All right, we are in recess. We will be back tomorrow. A docket at 9, and the jury will return for 9.
And he killed the sound before we could hear when it was done. 9:30. So that's 10:30 our time. So we're back. Yes, on the muffin break, we got it. Now we get to end. Now we get to play the music. It's turning into an interesting case. Some strong evidence, at least characters, witnesses are coming through and testifying against this defendant, putting him squarely in the guilty category with the girl who apparently pulled the trigger. And that's it's not good for him, but we'll see how this goes. So
That's not him.
That's not him. That's the wrong one. There we go. That's the right one. Scent Buddy's going to bring muffins in the morning. Thank you very much. We're going to get some rest. Actually, I'm going to go to work again. So what's the name of the verdict music? Here, let's do this. Let's do this once and for all. Hang on. Okay. Just a warning. We're not playing this for the truth of the matter, right? We're not playing the verdict music because there was actually a verdict. Just wait. All right. Oh, you hear an echo, 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 echo. There we go. The song is, it went away. Where was it? Siri, show me the name of the last song again. I didn't even see it. It came up with an answer, and it didn't work. I know we call it right here, right now. Competent Together. Thank you, Red Pen. Competent Together. So if you go to YouTube and you search for Competent Together music, you'll find it there. Thank you, Red Pen. I appreciate that. All right. Now we can play this music. Competent Together was the name of the song, which is a great name for a jury verdict music. Yes, it is. All right, thank you very much, guys. We've had a fun day today, a little bit of court hopping, and then we stumbled across this little Texas trial, murder trial. Cody Lee Smith on the stand right now. Former friend of Cody Arnold, Cody Lee Arnold, but no relation. Also not related to the previous somebody who testified, nor is he related to the next Cody who will also testify. It's going to be a little bit confusing, but Texas v. Cody Lee Arnold is going to continue tomorrow morning about 10:30. We'll probably start around 10. That'll give us time to say hello, sing happy birthday, get our ducks in a row as we're taking a little bit of an easy break right now before we jump into our next case, which might start on Monday, maybe. So tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again tomorrow morning. It's almost noon, it's at 10 o'clock. That's pretty late. Waiting for the creator to slap a copyright offense on Competent Together. They can't. I have an indefinite license with no expiration. You know how bad it would be if they did? That would be terrible. I basically have to delete all my streams. No verdict. Sorry, it was false alarm. We were just trying to get the name of the song for everybody. Y'all have a great night. Enjoy the rest of St. Patty's Day. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Stay safe. We'll see you guys in the morning. Be good. Bye-bye. We're also going to portal over to Courtroom Confidential, which starts in about an hour and 10 minutes.